You are now rocking with the Chicago Clubhouse Podcast, where they think they know everything, but honestly, they don't know shit.
Watch these summer league games and they tell you about these new up-and-coming coaches.
I think we should get rid of every motherfucking owner in Chicago.
Enzo and Caruso both been there on the quarter like your defensive generals.
But they need to get that strong safety who's not scared to hit somebody.
They really don't know shit.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome back to the podcast where we think we know everything, but we don't know shit. We do not know shit, but we do know that we throwing the whole season away, man. Throw that shit away. It's a wrap. Shit. I mean, we couldn't. We tried. We really tried to beat Green Bay. We really tried. It was awfully close until fourth quarter. It was close. We were close to winning the game, but yeah, the full quarter, it just all fell apart, man. So throw the whole season away. Who's to blame, though? Who's to blame? Can we blame one person? I don't think so. But does anybody escape blame? I don't think so. I love Justin. A lot of us do. But there's some positions that he shouldn't have been in, but he didn't make the right decision. Can we put all the blame on Cairo, whatever the fuck? Cairo. Can we put all the blame on him? No. We shouldn't necessarily have been in those positions where we had to rely on him. So, I mean, yeah, those hurt us, but we can't put all the blame on him. EQ. We can't put all the blame on him either. Even though he ran a fucked up route, which is up for debate because some people are saying that, well, Justin threw the ball late. Well, no, I don't think Justin threw the ball late. EQ came out of his break slow as fuck, and he didn't get to the spot, which allowed the cornerback, Jair, to jump it and get over there. The average cornerback wouldn't have been able to get to that ball, but Jair's not the average cornerback. So, but we can't put all the blame on EQ either. Like I said, we shouldn't even been in that position. We can blame play calling too, in addition to everybody else, because the play caller, oh my God, man. But I wanna bring my guys in here, and we're all gonna talk about it. We have a great guest today. In fact, he was also a number 19 like EQ. But we'll bring him in a minute. But first, let me bring in my All-Star team first man up. The stat man who knows every single stat from every single team since the 80s and 90s, basketball and football. My man, JB.
Hey, what up, T?
What up, JB?
Hey, man, just, I don't know, man. I don't even know. Words escape me
very, very rarely. And the words that I want to use, I'm not ready to use yet because my mother's watching right now. I'll just wait. Hey, Mom. I'll wait till later and just apologize for it afterwards. But this is, and I know I'm going to say this more than once. I don't care if you tanking. I don't care if you think that we are stupid as fans because you're not very good at it. It's like a liar that's always getting caught lying. Like maybe you should stop lying. You're not good at it, right? But at least if you have a chance to beat Aaron Rodgers, man, you take it. You do it.
Absolutely.
Just bottom line, you do it.
Absolutely.
Because the difference between being 3-14 and 4-13, it ain't shit. Give them boys some morale boosters and actually say, hey, we had a rough season. We were close in every game, but at least we beat Green Bay. And that, more than anything, can send them players, because about 40, maybe 50% of the roster is not going to be here next year. At least send them boys out on a high note. Let them go out on their shield. But, we'll dig deep into that.
Yep. All right, next man up, who just might have the foulest mouth in the city. My man, Foul Mouth C. Foul Mouth. What up, boy? We can't hear you. We can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, we hear you now.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Good.
What up, kid?
What up, man? I'm doing good. Back-to-back Big Ten champions. I'll be doing great if the Bears would have beat the fucking Packers, but unfortunately that didn't happen.
Thank you, Awakened Fate. Appreciate it.
Yes, unfortunately, the tank is real, baby. The tank is real.
You think a professional football team is they're really tanking?
I don't think the players are tanking. I think the coaches are.
You think the coaches are. So that's why they had that weak-ass receivers in there at the end, right? Because they're strong receivers, N'Keal Harry, and they weren't in there.
No, they weren't.
So that makes
you got trips with N'Keal Harry. I mean, not with N'Keal Harry, with Dante Pettis. Who was the other guy? Velus Jones.
Velvet was in there.
And EQ. Come on, man. And it's crunch time too. Come on.
Yeah,
and then when you
that
down
kind of
there,
makes you scratch your head a little bit.
And you got 3 downs, 2 of them you call a run on, the first and
the
last
run at that.
With plus 5 yards to go, and you call a fucking run? Come on, man. The fix is in, baby. The fix is in.
I just hate to think that they're actually tanking the season. But on the other hand, I want a good pick. So, yeah. So, anyway, let's bring in our other guys before we bring in our guests.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. All right, bet.
Got them damn pilot earphones on.
Hell yeah, baby. I'm on my way to the college playoff, baby.
So our guy who got that Hawk talk, but he ain't the rookie no more, Frank the Tank.
And I'm back on the whiskey.
Frank the Tank.
Frank the Tank's in the house.
Man, the year Notre Dame, man, you should be on something.
What's that?
Wild turkey. On our Thanksgiving whiskey.
What's that?
Oh, that's a little Jim Beam devil cut.
Oh, I thought maybe that was like Dr. Pepper or something.
Nice.
What?
I'm just kidding. I know you don't get down like that.
I'm right there with you guys as far as I understand.
Soft drink like Chris would be drinking.
I'm right there with you guys. I understand the full tank is on, but I wanted to beat the Packers, man. God damn.
Yeah, man. We all wanted to beat the Packers.
Fucking want a sweet chin music, freaking Aaron Rodgers right in his face, dude. God damn. No, I hate. Hey, if I saw him on the street, I'd probably want to jump him.
Oh wow. Well, yeah, man. I mean, we all wanted to beat the Packers, but Aaron Rodgers, man, he just always finds a way to win. He always finds a way to win.
So
he didn't even really do that much.
He
either.
didn't. Let's be real clear, because the one thing that was glaring, if you look at Aaron Rodgers' numbers, the Bears were actually making his life miserable. Our third string secondary,
they did pretty good.
They were balling. You take the long play away at the end from Christian Watson, which I don't even, to this day, I don't even know how they.
That's how we found the way to win.
But I'm just like, whatever. But the point being is, it's like a boxer. When you got the champ on the ropes, you don't stop and let him recover. You keep going and going and going till you can't go anymore.
Well, the thing is that they really didn't put no pressure on him. The secondary but just imagine they had pressure on them.
Man.
The coverage was very good.
Yeah, coverage was very good.
So, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Chris.
I said the coverage was very good. It was just that there was no pressure put on him.
Yeah.
So just imagine the type of throws or maybe potential interceptions he would have had if he actually had some pressure put on him.
Well,
for sure.
Well, again, we were put in that situation by our GM. So we're not expecting much, but when you have a group that's like balling out of control, go on and let them get that win, man.
I agree.
Let's bring in the last piece of the All-Star team who has his own show on Thursday. Easy does it, but he's with us tonight. Let's bring him in. He is now the rookie. So let's bring him in because he has something to say. Easy.
So is rookie hazing a part of rookie hazing when you're on the show? Is you have to lose to Green Bay? Is that how it works?
Yeah.
I don't like that too much. But no, look, I just want to say I like what you all were saying, right? Like, yeah, obviously we want a good draft pick, but we're Bears fans first and foremost. We buy into the lore and we want to beat Green Bay. And the fact that they beat us and overtook us for the all-time NFL franchise leaders in wins on our home field, by beating us by scoring 18 points in the fourth quarter to come back from down by 2 scores, horrible. Just absolutely horrible. Like, we should all collectively be disgusted as Bears fans. That was a bad day in Chicago. However, I do think, and I'm hoping that is like our rock bottom, and I'm hoping that it just goes up from here. I haven't seen. I mean, I've seen indicators that could be the case, and the main indicator is Justin Fields. Obviously, he is a franchise quarterback. I think it's very clear that he's a budding star. With that being said, he's not above criticism, and after watching that interception, and I put together a highlight tape, when we watch it, you'll see the first interception. Maybe St. Brown ran a poor route. Fields never should have thrown that ball. He should have.
He should have threw the ball earlier. If anything.
He should have. Yeah. He had checkdowns open. He had Montgomery open for 5 or 6. That's not a situation that calls for an intermediate route. That's a situation that calls for short yardage. We're trying to drain the clock. We're trying to get 1 or 2 more first downs, because if they would have let the clock wind down to 2:43 and snapped it, then they would have been able to run a play, and they could have gotten like 5 or 6 yards, and then they could have let it wind to the 2-minute warning. And then they could have gotten the Packers in the territory where they have to call all their timeouts. And then they could have kicked a field goal, gotten the win. So really, that's like a time. Fields is good at being Batman, but he needs to learn when it's okay to be Robin. And that is kind of the bottom line of where we're at with Justin Fields. I love the guy. I think he's great. And every mistake that he's made, none of the mistakes he's made are red flags, right? Like, they're not things that are like, oh man, I'm so worried about
fix. Yes, it's not.
I think that we should go ahead and bring in our guest. But
we got a Bears receiver in the house.
A receiver, the original number 19. EQ is 19, but our guest was the first 19, at least that I remember in my life.
Stuart, what up?
But I'm sure some of you all are wondering, well, who is it? Who is it? Well, we about to show you. Devin.
You see on that first throw how he came back to the ball?
Yes.
First had to be the
Come
first
back
throw. I
to the
loved
fucking
it.
ball. You don't stand there and wait for it.
Now
Come
that's
back
all
to
on
you.
EQ.
I mean,
When
come
you
to
are,
you.
he did
Yeah,
that come but
so-
not the back.
Yeah.
Let's bring him in.
Every receiver
Devin
knows that.
Aromashodu.
Devin,
What up,
Hey, how you guys
What's
doing?
going on, brother?
How y'all doing? How y'all doing?
what's
Thanks
going
for
on,
having
bro?
me.
Did I
Yes,
say
sir.
that right? Aromashodu?
Yeah, you got it right. Devin
Okay.
Aromashodu.
Okay. All right, cool. So how you
All-time
doing,
great
man?
name.
Good to see
I'm
you.
doing good. Doing good. Can't complain. Just taking it one day at a time, raising the family, things like
Okay.
that. So
That's what's up.
Where you living at?
I live in Birmingham, Alabama.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Okay, B-Ham. Okay.
That's all good, man. So what kinds of things are you doing now after retirement?
So I didn't graduate when I was in college at Auburn, so I went back to school, finished my degree in business
Dope.
administration,
What's up?
and
Dope.
and got into lending. So I'm a mortgage lender. I've been doing that like 7 years now.
Okay.
Okay. That's what's up, man.
Yeah,
Definitely.
man. That's dope, man.
You missed the game at all?
I do at times when I'm watching it. If I don't watch it, then I'm kind of okay. So I try not to watch it as much, 'cause especially with as much passing is going on now, and all passing and no hitting. I mean, I think I could have had fun. I could have had fun here. So but I miss it sometimes.
And those receivers getting paid now too.
Oh yeah, it's 7-on-7 right now.
Man, I'm trying
That's
to
a
tell
good-
you.
Yeah.
It's flag football, baby. Can't even touch the quarterback no more.
Nope.
They already turned that into the
Unless
Pro
it's our
Bowl this
quarterback.
year's flag football.
Yeah. Unless it's Justin Fields. You can take his damn head off and ain't shit gonna get called.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Bunch of
Devin, out of all of the places that you played, what's your favorite?
I mean,
You'll have to say Chicago.
Yeah,
oh
they
no,
gotta
I'm
say
not,
Chicago.
I'm not gonna do that. I mean, I would say places, Chicago, as far as just the tradition, the atmosphere, definitely was Chicago. As far as my coach, I mean, I played in Indianapolis, so Coach Dungy,
Dungy, I was gonna say that.
but as far as places to answer your question, it is Chicago by far. So
Thank you.
How did you like playing with Jay Cutler?
I
We
like
always
playing.
like asking that question.
I like playing with Jay. I didn't have a problem with Jay, so I enjoy playing with Jay. He helped me, get the opportunity that I deserved. So I definitely, can vouch for him. I didn't have a problem with him at all.
Okay.
What about
And
Peyton
he was
Manning?
getting you the ball for sure, though. He had no problem throwing you the ball. Tell us, start off a little bit about the college, though, because you was down there with Auburn and them boys going against, the SEC. What's going on with that?
What do you mean? Like when I was in school?
Yeah, because that's everybody want to run to the SEC now. Everybody.
Yeah, I mean,
That's true.
I mean, I had a good time at Auburn. I'm from Miami, but I ended up going to Auburn, and I had a good 4 years there. We didn't lose Alabama when I was there. We were 4-0.
Make sure you throw that in there.
Yeah, so it was fun. It was fun. But I had a good time there. We had a good record when I was there. All the years I was there, and went undefeated one of the years, and got left out of the national championship, unfortunately. But I definitely enjoyed my time at Auburn.
Okay, that's what's up. Yeah.
Yeah, War Eagle all day.
All right,
Tell me
War
about Peyton Manning.
Yeah, so Peyton Manning, he's like a heart surgeon. That's what I like how I would put it.
Doctor of football.
Yeah, playing football. He has to know everything. Like my first day there, he knew who I was, where I went to school, all those things. He's just that meticulous about the game, and
Sure.
he wants everything to be perfect. But I mean, he's a great teammate. But his will to win, his passion to win, and how he works, he's going to outwork everybody, and everyone kind of plays his level. But he makes everyone so much better with him just being on the field because he knows where the open spots are going to be. So he just pretty much tells you where to run and what to do before the snap off the pre-snap read, and just makes the game easy. So I definitely learned a lot in my kind of like my platform of what I learned. I was able to kind of take that and move on from there when I left there.
Sure. No, absolutely.
Yeah.
So who who is more of a teacher for you, Jay Cutler or Peyton Manning?
Oh God, I don't know if we could.
I think y'all can answer that question.
Yeah,
I'm about to be like,
Right. Yeah. We already know who it is. We know it ain't Jay.
And maybe Christian Ponder. I don't know, or whoever you want.
That's like comparing Chicago
Christian
pizza to
Ponder?
LA pizza.
What
right?
team was that?
Minnesota.
Yeah, Minnesota.
Oh yeah.
I guess
yeah,
it might not have been Ponder at the time. It might have been.
It was
I
Ponder.
don't know.
Yeah, because that was like 2012, right?
Was it
He was
McNabb?
there. I had McNabb first year.
That's
but,
right.
I mean,
That's
Ponder, they were grooming Ponder to be the guy, and I had McNabb. I mean, Ponder my second year, but I mean, that was. I mean, y'all talk about Cutler. I mean, but I mean, but I didn't have a problem with Cutler. I love Cutler, but Peyton Manning, obviously, just how he understands the game and how he sees everything. And he wants everyone to be able to see it that way. When we go over film, when we're watching stuff, everyone's in there. And everyone has to understand the whole play and the whole concept of what's going on. Because that way you'll know when you're going to get the ball and understand why. So it's not just – you never just – when I was playing in India, it's not just about being out there running routes, but knowing why you're running a route and what you're doing, who you're trying to get open. So I learned a lot from him, but also the receivers, just kind of knowing what to do and why I'm doing it and not just running routes.
Sure.
So when you do watch football, is there a particular team that you watch?
I'll be honest, I don't watch too much NFL. I watch more college than I do the NFL. But I mean, I'll try to tune into the Bears if I get a chance. I'm from Miami, so Miami's my team growing up. I'm a Dolphins fan. Grew up watching Dan Marino. So I'm hoping one day they can get back to the Super Bowl, but
they trying.
Yeah,
They're pretty good this year.
Is good.
Yeah, that's my childhood team. But yeah, I mean, I love Chicago. I love Chicago. With all my heart. That was like I got my first big break there. So definitely a place I'll never forget.
Yeah, I liked you when you was here. I thought they should have kept you for.
Yeah, we wanted you to stay for sure.
Yeah, well, that love it when they got Mike Marks, man, and
Can you talk about your game-winning overtime touchdown?
Hold on, easy. Chris asked him a question. He was answering. So go back to what you said about Lovey. What?
Well, Lovey went and got Mike Marks, and that was pretty much. I said now that's the beginning of the end for all of that stuff.
Was he really that bad?
I was gonna say, is he that bad? Super Bowl winning coach?
I don't think he's. I don't. There's nothing wrong with him as a coach, but just his personality, his ego. Which a lot of coaches have egos. There's nothing wrong with that, but too much of an ego and too much of got to have some humility too with being a coach. And when he got the job there, I had guys that I played with that were on the Rams that were calling me, trying to tell me about him. I never talked to any of them until after the fact, but they were trying to call me just to tell me about, how he was and how he operated. And
kind of give you a warning.
Right. And I mean, you see, for whatever reason, he's the reason Greg Olsen was not with the Bears anymore. I don't know any of y'all that are.
And he brought in Brandon Manu Maliuna.
Right. So
I wanted to ask you about that. Did you hear he did a press conference? This is like maybe 4 or 5 weeks ago. He said he was not the reason Greg Olsen left. He wanted him to stay. The front office got rid of him and told him nothing. I was like,
and he's supposed to say that.
Shit.
Yeah.
Hold on, before you even answer,
it's easy to say now when he's a Hall of Fame, pretty much a Hall of Fame tight end. I mean, of course he's gonna.
Yeah.
Right.
I was gonna say before you even answer, your whole body language let me know that that's some bullshit. You went over like, all right.
He also was the one who said Justin Fields is awful and he is not going to be a successful quarterback. Followed the next week after Justin Fields had a great game. Justin Fields looks great. He's progressing. He's going to be an elite quarterback. I was like, wow, dude, you are.
What does he do? Does he do something in Chicago or something, or just
I don't. He a lot of times shows up as a guest on like a 670 radio show.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Like he does that every once in a while.
Okay, yeah, I mean.
But it's funny how you said his ego, and then you put. I know you had a good relationship with Jay Cutler, but Jay Cutler has an ego too. You put both of those egos together.
It's funny. I think they tried to make it work because it was interesting to see how that was going to work, and I didn't see. It wasn't as bad as people may think. At least from what I saw, unless it was just some stuff behind the scenes. But I think they tried to make it work. But I just think, it's unfortunate. I know, a lot of people didn't want to see. I think what was it? Ron Turner was the OC, right? A lot of people didn't want to see Ron there, but we had just started to get something going at the end of the season. And then you bring in a new offensive coordinator, which I'm sure, Lovey probably had to make a decision on that. You bring in a new offensive coordinator who kind of broke up what we had going on and wanted to make it into his own thing. So that was, in my opinion, part of the biggest problem. Instead of taking the pieces there and growing from what we have, he wanted to break it up and make it into his own, his own castle. And that's where I think the chips started to fall apart at. Because at the end of that season in 2009, we were starting to gel together. We started to, to play well together as a group. And he comes in, we learn a new offense. You get Olsen out of there. You got receivers playing different positions, and you learning. It was a lot going on. And for me, that was my last year there, but. Obviously it didn't go how everybody wanted to go. And with all that going on, we were one game away from, playing in the Super Bowl. So there was definitely a lot going on that year, a lot of up and down with a lot of people. And with all that, like I said, we were still one game away. But I think if we would have been in something just more simple and somebody just wanted to see us flourish rather than turn it into his own masterpiece, I think it would have been some longevity in that. And everyone would have benefited.
Nice. All we remember as Bears fans is when Sunday Night Football came around, live TV, and all we hear is Jay Cutler live on there screaming, "Tell him I said fuck you," after Mike Martz made a play, and we're just like, "Well, we see how this relationship is going."
Well, Devin was on the other sideline then.
I don't remember that.
When was it?
It was 2011.
Yeah, when was
2011? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard, I don't know, but I know we used to do a lot of, obviously Mike liked to pass the ball, but there was he didn't leave a lot of protection for Jay. So we did a lot of, he liked to be in a lot of 3 and 4 wide situations to where, there's a lot of great pass rushers in the NFC North. And when you just have the 5 linemen and maybe Matt Forte to block, that's just a lot of times not enough for the long developing routes that we had. So I know for a fact that's one of the things Jay didn't like, and it attributed to a lot of the interceptions as well, just having to deal with that. So it didn't help.
So speak about that a little bit when you said the position. So a lot of our fans, they don't really understand. They figure you play wide receiver, but playing a position of wide receiver is different in everybody else's scheme or offenses. So I know we've seen you move around. We've seen you on ISO backside and everything, deep threat. So what were you feeling at that time? Because I know Mike Martz did shift, but production-wise, where did you feel that you fit in best during that time?
In Mike Martz offense?
I asked you that for a reason because you know where I'm going with this, like the whole Isaac team, Isaac Bruce thing. And they trying
so Isaac came down there and worked with all of us, and we were all playing. Yeah, I came down and worked with all of us, and he was kind of helping us learn the offense because it can be a difficult offense to learn. It's a lot. It's a lot of information. Probably for me the most I've ever had. And we all started to pick it up. We were a young group, and he wanted me to play inside. Okay. And he said because of so usually inside receiver has a lot more to worry about because you got to worry about blitzes and things like that. And I was probably out of the group of guys we had between me and Rashid, we were the most suitable for playing multiple positions. Johnny, Devin, Earl could probably play a few positions, but Earl was primarily inside receiver just because his build and that's what he played. Johnny and Devin could only play on the outside. So with me knowing multiple positions, they wanted me to primarily play on the inside. Well, I've always been an outside receiver, and that's just what I've always played. But that's where they wanted me to play. So that's where they put me at the inside receiver. And it worked out, but for me, I was getting broke up in the middle. And after the first game, I had a rough first game. Dropped some balls I probably should have caught. Had like an MCL sprain, and I think I said something in the paper. I came out and said something in the paper, and then that was pretty much it for me for the rest of the year. Right. As far as playing,
what did you say? I don't remember that.
I don't know what you said. I didn't hear
that. Was it like a disciplinary thing or something?
No, I came out and said because they asked me. So I after the first game, I think I finished with I had and it was that Detroit game. Remember the Calvin Johnson incident?
That was the first
first game of the season. So I had the most.
I was at that game. I remember that. I almost left after that play. I thought it was over.
So the position I play is supposed to have the most catches in his office. It's like he has this little chart, and you play this certain position, you're gonna have X amount of catches. And that's essentially the position Oz played. Oz Akeem, Pastori, Isaac on the outside. So I had the most targets. I think I had about 6 catches that game, and I sprained my MCL, and I missed the next game. And I think Zach got hurt or something happened, and people were kind of asking why I wasn't playing. And when they came and asked me that, and they asked me about Zach, and Zach had made a mistake, and I think I had some errors in the first game. And I said, I came out and said, coaches make mistakes just like players do. And, we can't walk on eggshells. We got to know that somebody has some confidence in us to go out there and make a mistake and believe to put us back out there again. And when I said that, some people, he really didn't like what I said. And that was pretty much a wrap for the rest of my season. We're playing. Yeah,
that's Lovey's boy. So
tell the truth.
Yeah. Right. So I said, I spoke the truth, and that's how I felt, and that's how it ended up for me. But
you had everything we needed too. A bigger target, everything, man. Like, damn.
Great separation, great route runner,
because he was like a 4.3, 4.4 guy, right?
Yeah, I ran 4.3 at the combine.
Yeah, that's why I'm like,
sometimes organizations just can't get out their own fucking way, man.
Yeah.
I told you, I liked you when I saw, because you came over from, was it New England or something like that?
I was with Indy.
Indy, okay, yeah. I knew you came over from somewhere, and I remember they was like, "Oh, Aromashodu." I was like, "Well, let's get a kid a chance." And then I liked what I saw. Right. I said, "Damn, okay, kid doing some work. Ain't nothing wrong with it."
Touchdowns, like what was it? 09. You was like, almost.
Yeah, when they let me, because I was supposed to. I got hurt at the beginning of 09, so that's why I didn't play most of the beginning of the year. I was supposed to be playing a lot more, and I had like a second-degree tear or something in my quad the first week of practice, so I pretty much missed like the first 6 games with that. And then I kind of had to work myself back into everything. And, the last few games of the season, I finally got to play. Some guys went down, and I finally got an opportunity to play a whole game and get some burns. So, that's what happened. But initially, I was supposed to be playing from the beginning of the season. And I had the injury come up, and, and I had to wait. But I did finish the season strong and was looking forward to the next year. But just unfortunately, things didn't work out, between me and Mike Morris and what he was trying to do.
Yeah, Jackson.
Can you tell us about that Monday night play?
Huh?
That Monday night play, overtime touchdown. That was crazy. We were going. I was thrilled.
Oh yeah. What do you mean, like the play call, or like
not necessarily the play call, like just like your emotions, like how you felt after scoring?
I felt
cool game. I know we were out of the playoff hunt, but it was.
No, crazy. For me, it was everything. I remember finding out, because I think, again, in that situation, like I knew both positions. I didn't play that position I was playing that game. I played on the other side, but it was at the last minute. Devin wasn't ready to go for the game, so they put me in on the opposite side of the field. So that's not even the position that I played. I was like, that was the Z, and I played primarily X. So I think like right before the game, coach told me I was going to start that game. Devin wasn't going. So, I was playing to win. It was a playoff game for me. So, I went out there with that mentality, and, we ended up playing well as a team and got the win. But for me, it was it was everything. I wanted to showcase my ability.
It was awesome.
How was that Bears locker room? Like, who was the clown?
I mean, obviously, y'all know Double A was a clown. Lance Breeze was a clown.
Always hear that.
Yeah. Lance is.
Who's Double A?
Anthony
Adams.
Adams.
Come on, man. Spice.
Spice. My fault.
Come on, man. Keep up, brother. Keep up.
I knew who you was talking about.
So
Jason McKee and Matt Forte, they would on offense, they were probably the funniest on offense.
Really?
Those two, yeah. And they're in the same meeting room, so their meeting room was next to ours. So anytime if somebody would drop a ball, if it was one of them or if it was one of us, and we're watching like practice from the day before, they go boom, and then they beat on the window, so you know when they're looking at the play, and then they rewind it and play it again and just make the same noise and beat on the window. I mean on the wall. So you know those two definitely, as far as offense, were the funny ones. But defense, it was definitely Lance, and to my recollection, Lance and Anthony Adams.
Okay.
So I know we mentioned it briefly.
Mm-hmm.
Do you watch the Bears now?
I mean, I don't watch that much NFL football. It has to be on. I mean, I'm running around so much with my kids and stuff. It's hard, and they have a lot of activities on the weekend. So I honestly don't watch as much as I used to. And when I do watch it, it just makes me miss the game. You know, and being a receiver, this is the ideal era to be playing receiver. Like, I mean, you will see, I mean, it's basically like a receiver factory in college right now. You got receivers coming out every single year. And the game, it looks like that's what the fans want to see. So they're going to cater to that. It's passing, you know, not much hitting. You got to let the guys catch the ball. Then you can tackle them pretty much. So it's hard for me to watch, honestly, because I played in a different era, you know. It just was
right when it was
passing.
Starting to turn just a little bit.
Right. But you know, it's like, I mean, I was like, man, I wish if I was 10 years later, it would be just a lot more balls going around and a lot more opportunity.
Yeah, in this day and age, you don't have to worry about getting your head tore off because you know they got targeting now.
Exactly.
You know, back then, safety and linebackers, if you in that slot.
Yeah, regardless whether you catch the ball or not, they're gonna hit you anyway.
Yeah,
That's just part of it.
Yeah,
they will never know about Joey Browner, Ronnie Lott, Chuck Cecil. They will never know about them guys.
Mel Blount changed the rules.
Yeah. Let me ask you this really quick, because this is something I always like to ask receivers. Bears just lost their number one receiver in Darnell Mooney. And a lot of people keep complaining about field conditions with this turf. Where do you stand on field conditions? Because there's a lot of receivers going down with ACL injuries and everything, and ankle injuries. And
as far as Chicago's field,
I mean, we all know Chicago's field sucked ass. But I mean, in general, like a lot of people are saying get rid of turf. Then there's a lot of other people saying no, don't get rid of turf. Like it's just
I didn't have any major injuries. So I never really had any issues with fields or anything like that. Turf does hurt my knees a little more, but it's faster. So if you're running in a straight line, I mean, I think turf is the ideal situation. As far as, I mean, grass goes, at least when I played in Chicago, that's probably the worst field grass that I played on. I mean, I would have guys from other teams calling me, asking me, hey, when they're playing us, what cleats do I need to wear for the game? Yeah. I'm like, you need to just be good at your technique. It doesn't matter how long the studs are. It's like it's just a bad field.
Could sabotage them.
But yeah, that played to our advantage too, because we knew how that field was, and as long as we were on our stuff, then it worked out. But I mean, I didn't have a problem with the fields. I like turf, you know, because I can run. So if I'm going straight ahead on turf, then I'm gonna be at my fastest. So I don't have a problem with it.
I remember Bernard said that about that Minnesota, the what do you call the dome? The Minneapolis. He said he felt faster.
Yeah. It's just, I mean, it's like a perfect surface. So you know, it's just, you know, you can definitely go on that.
And how do you feel if the Bears do go into a dome?
I I mean, when I first got there, I was like, I wish they wouldn't have done. But when you're playing outside in that weather and those other teams come there, half the time they don't. I mean, they're ready to lay it down once it gets too cold, and we will get up on them. So I mean, I hope they don't do that. I think they'll lose a lot of stuff.
It'll for sure be a retractable dome, if anything. But
it better be.
No, they need to leave it just how it is. In my opinion.
Well, you do know that they're leaving Chicago, right?
I heard that. Yeah,
it's happening. They're out of Soldier Field and they're going to Arlington Heights.
Oh,
that's
wow.
pretty. I mean, they've already bought it. It's already been approved. It's happening.
Wow. Yeah, they need to.
More than likely happening like maybe in 2026 is when it's.
And it's gonna be like a dome closed.
It's gonna be. I mean, they don't know yet, but I mean, it's retractable. It's gonna be at least 87,000.
Wow.
Well, the same people that built the Raiders Stadium are supposed to be
the Vegas one. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You know, they call it the Death Star.
Yeah, I've been there. I've been there one time. I've been there once. Yeah.
So if it look like that now, I'm all in. You know,
it's nice.
So our guy Rashad Cool K, he was saying that you were burning the Lions in that intro. You were killing them. Mm-hmm. So another one of our guys in the chat, he asked, "Can you still run that fast?"
I ain't run like that in years, so probably not. I'd hurt something. I can try. I can do it one time, and that would be it.
It gives you that extra.
So you're not doing what T.O. do, right?
No. T.O. just can't. T.O. just can't let it go. I don't know. He still got to compete with people. I mean, he could be their father. You still try to compete with them.
Said he one of them daddies that's gonna try to beat his son every chance he
get. I'm like, man.
Didn't he try to run against Tyreek Hill? Or something?
He did. It's on
I want to
video.
say he lost by like
he didn't lose by much.
Yeah,
he didn't lose by much.
Man, 50 years old running a 4.4 still. Like, damn.
That's crazy.
Yeah, somebody tested him.
No, that's just a supreme.
I take a flyer on him.
Well, Devin, you didn't get a chance to watch the Packers game then on Sunday.
I didn't, but when we and you talk, I watched the highlights of the game.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure we probably had highlights where we could have played.
Perfect segue. Can we throw a couple of highlights on?
Yes.
I got him.
Throw the highlights on and we'll watch.
And that's one thing right there, the growth process of your young quarterback. Justin contact wins, shoving people around.
Fields, what a move to move past Nixon. And Justin Fields ahead of the field and gone. What a run.
Phenomenal job to this point defending those routes.
Bears get the ball back, and Justin Fields is looking for Equanimous St. Brown. First and goal.
You couldn't run down there and set it in his hands any better than that from Justin Fields.
Give to Montgomery with a nice cut, and he powers in for a touchdown. Here comes a late blitz from Nixon that gets picked up. Fields steps up and throws to Komet. First down.
Trigger, flow over the top, and go.
Boy, a lot of pressure on Fields. He gave it to Evans, and Darrington Evans allowed the last few weeks. Much better in the second half for Green Bay so far on the defensive end. Now trying to contain Fields, looking for N'Keal Harry. What a catch! So well, big play Fields to Harry.
Let's go scramble drill right here. Jair Alexander jumps the route. That's just a little scout route on the outside, and hey, you're going to jump that.
Yep. Now they give to Montgomery, and they get a first down. Here is Fields. Over the middle on the slant, and it's cold.
Back throwing the football.
They're going to throw again.
We do not own the rights to that music.
What
the hell was
that
for that music?
Anyway?
That was
It was supposed to be some depressing shit.
I can't remember the title. I'll find it real quick.
Yeah, easy.
Oh, don't say it.
I told you, I don't.
Yeah, don't even say it on here. Just put it in the chat or something.
Got it.
So, Devin, we're going to work backwards on this one. What do you feel about that last play with EQ wearing your number, gracing the number 19?
It was kind of hard to see on those replays. Bad replays.
Let me
just play it.
Let me throw it up a little bit. Maybe he can see it a little better.
Okay.
Too many steps.
He said,
See,
yeah.
He didn't
got out of
step
it. Rewind
towards
it.
the
Rewind
ball,
it again.
man.
But Jair is sitting on it.
But if he runs back towards the ball at least 3 more yards, he's in front of him, and he's making.
Hold on, let Devin answer, y'all. Let Devin answer.
Rewind it. So he's sitting on the route. So he's not going anywhere, and you see him. Rewind it again. Rewind it.
I don't think we can rewind on this.
Well, yeah. Okay. You can just play it again.
Yeah, just restart.
Play it.
So he never made him think that he was going deep. I would have just pushed to his outside shoulder because he's sitting outside of him, so he doesn't want to be threatened to the outside. So if he pushes to his outside shoulder, now that's where the DB doesn't want him to be. It's to the outside because he's a shade outside of him. So if he runs to the outside, now he has to open his hips and honor that. So what I would have done was push him to the outside, get him to open his hips, and then threw him by. And now you actually make the window for the quarterback bigger because now you're not – because he turned inside of him. He closed that window for where the quarterback can throw the ball. So now he has to run a perfect route to actually catch the ball and just get in between the DB. But the DB never felt threatened that he was going to run a deep route.
That is one of the best DBs in NFL this year too. So.
Yeah, I mean,
right. So
also,
what you do with the best DBs is best DBs sit on everything. That's how they get interceptions. So you just run by them.
Yeah,
and
that's what they did on one of the plays where they baited him and then they ran by him for a 50-yard.
It's a number 5 receiver against the second highest paid player on Green Bay. He was sitting all over the route. To me, I love Justin Fields. Disclaimer, but I think that throw never should have been made, and I think that's fair to say.
Yeah.
Well, but something you said too. You said too many steps because clearly he was pushing past the first down. He was pushing past the first down.
Yeah, he took like 5 steps by step.
On the comeback, we know a little bit. It never looked like you said, like he didn't push him to make him turn his hips to think he's going vertical. But he also never came back to fight for the ball either.
Right. He was, I mean,
he was almost flat-footed, like, oh wait, it's not coming.
It was just, I mean, and they could be taught to run it like that. So I don't know what they're being told to do. But with a DB that sits on the route, one thing for me being fast, I always made everyone think I was going deep. So that was how I was able to run routes because I would threaten somebody with the speed that I have vertically. So if the DB is going to if he's sitting on the route, then I have to attack his technique to make him uncomfortable. That DB was comfortable the whole time because as soon as he ran inside of him, he's like, only thing you can do is run a dig route or run a curve. If you run a dig, my hips are already sitting this way. I can just chase you and undercut the ball. But if you run to his outside shoulder and attack his technique, now he has to open his hips. And if he doesn't open his hips and he stays there, then I'm going to put my hand up and run and go.
Yeah.
So,
especially since he already beat him deep before, you would think you'd be able to bait him that you're going deep again.
Right, which he played the situation like they're not going to come deep at me again.
Yeah, you read that play.
That's honestly back to my game when he played against Antoine Whitfield. The first thing he said, because I went to Vikings after that, he said, I didn't think they were going to throw deep on my side. But we threw deep on his side because we didn't respect because he's going to play everything short. That's what most of the good DBs do. They don't really cover deep routes.
I mean, we saw earlier on N'Keal Harry totally baited Jair to step up, jump the little not the dig route, the little stick route or whatever.
Yeah, that stupid play that they run all the time.
Yeah, but Harry, I mean,
it worked that time. Why don't they do that more often?
Well, also, I do think I wasn't sure if Fields might have thrown that a little late. I mean, he got it there, and it was a huge gain, but it looked like if he threw it a little early, maybe Harry had some separation. Maybe
that was
scored.
where he was scrambling.
Yeah, he was scrambling out of that.
He was scrambling. He made a play. I mean, that was a great play. But I'm not. Yeah. But also back to the interception. None of it matters if he just throws the little check down to Montgomery over the middle. It's never a bad idea to dump it off to 32.
You're right. I mean, I guess that's something with young quarterbacks will pick that up. That's one thing Peyton Manning was real good with. He took whatever the defense gave him. I mean, I saw him check balls down my first year there.
They were giving us
game. He would check it down to the running back, and you have to take that stuff because that's like a run play. You get 5 yards, and you live for another down. But I think Justin Fields will, he'll start to pick up on that stuff and be patient.
But I want to challenge that. I want to challenge that because
where's your flag? Where's your flag?
I want.
Wait, it was it was 1st and 10. It was first down from like the 43-yard line.
That's not what I'm challenging. Let me speak. I want to challenge it because the way that he stared him down, it looked like he was told, hey, Jair is going to bail because he doesn't want to get beat deep again. He's going to run the check route and the comeback because, like you said, it's not like they weren't open for the check down. He never looked. And it was like, hey, focus on this, which is why I say, you said something that's very telling, Devin. You said, we don't know how they're running their routes. Like if that's how they're supposed to run.
Right.
Timing, put your foot in the ground, ball is gone, turn around, bam, instead. If that's the case. But like you stated, he never ran him off enough to where he even committed to the vertical.
Yeah, the DB was too comfortable in his back pedal to even think anything.
Think that was a play call designed to no matter what, he gonna be open, hit him.
Right. Which they were probably looking. He probably and I mean I'm not a quarterback, but I'm thinking pre-snap read. He's looking at the defense. Okay, they're in. He's shading them outside, so they're probably in the 1 high, 1 safety, and it's cover 3. So it's just deep third. So he's thinking the cornerback just gonna backpedal, and I'm gonna take the 12-yard curl route, and we'll be fine. But he had a slow backpedal, and he never felt threatened deep, and he pretty much jumped the route. Most DBs will do that. A younger DB that's probably not as established as him does not want to get beat deep, so he's going to play his deep third because that's what he's taught to do. But when you have players that are paid more or the guy on the team, they do what they want to do. The Ed Reeds, the Troy Palomalus, they do whatever they want to do to make the play. So you can't go off the pre-snap read, oh, he's in cover 3, he's going to play it like this. Because, remember my first year we're in the playoffs, and they had Ty Law covering Marvin Harrison. Ty Law sat at 8 yards the whole game. And if it was anything between 8 and 12 yards, that's all he was covering. He didn't care. Well, he didn't matter what the defense was. He sat between 8 and 12 yards. And I think it was the year we won the Super Bowl. We almost lost the game. I think Ty Law had 2 interceptions because he sat at 8 to 12 yards and just was hovering in that area because he's like, I'm not covering anything deep. They're not going to take me out if I get beat deep. So I'm just here to get interceptions.
Right.
So it's like he's not worried about being beat deep, and he doesn't have that mentality. He's there to get interceptions. And
that's interesting because you're kind of highlighting how each player has a different motive, especially, like guys who are already making their money. It's like, you might as well just try to make the big plays at this point.
Exactly. They're not going to bench him if he gets beat deep. So,
right.
I mean, Jalen plays a lot of press, so
I was like he played a lot of press.
He's in your face, and I mean he's a taller DB, so him playing off, I think him playing press is to his advantage. So I think his situation is a little different, but obviously he doesn't care about being beat deep because he's going to be playing the next game. So
put up that last comment from Anthony. This I actually wanted to say too. So, the receiver we had to run the route used to be a Packer. And this DB just pretty much attacked him in the press conference, saying it was like, he wasn't going to beat me deep again. And I know if he's going to run that curl route, he's not going to be able to fight for the ball over me. Like, is it like, damn. Like that's
what the DB said.
He fits so well in Green Bay because Aaron Rodgers is a piece of shit. And this guy is just right there with him with like a cocky piece of shit. But, I mean, he's a damn good corner.
No, I don't think it's cocky. I just think he knows the player. Like I said, when I look at that, being a former wide receiver myself, when I look at the fucking play, the route was shitty any fucking way. He took too many fucking steps. Shit, he gave the damn DB enough chance to jump the fucking route because of the steps that he take. If he takes shorter steps, he turn around, then he may have an opportunity to fight the ball, go back to the ball. If he's really going to fucking go back to the ball, from what Zaire was saying, look like shit, it don't matter what fucking route he would have ran, he still wasn't going to fight for the fucking ball. So
I still think we're forgetting the important thing that situational football in that situation, I don't know why you're throwing intermediate to begin with. I like a deep shot maybe.
The thing is this. You've been working so well. Your deep ball has been working so well. I don't mind the shot.
No,
tell you the truth, because if it was a better wide receiver,
right in the middle
probably
of
bigger, that's a fucking catch.
That's not a like throwing it over the middle like that. That's a 12-yard dig. That's not a
he shouldn't have. As soon as he saw color, the quarterback should have went somewhere else. I mean, sometimes like everybody gets paid, and some guys make that play. So the defensive back won that, and as soon as Justin Fields saw color, saw that white jersey, he should have went to another read. Yeah. So the receiver didn't run a good route, and the DB was all over. But that's going to happen sometimes. So the quarterback has to go somewhere else, unless, like one of y'all said, he was predetermined and he was throwing there.
And that's what I said it looked like. Yeah.
Ball, we wouldn't be having this conversation because if anything, it would have been maybe an incomplete pass. Wouldn't have been an interception if he came back to the ball.
But that's how. Regardless, like my point is, situationally, it's like the goal there. You want to get score. You need to score, right? You got to get a field goal. Touchdown would be great, but a field goal. And you want to have Aaron Rodgers have as little time as possible. So if you could get it down to 2 minutes and it's second and short going into the 2-minute warning, you could get the Packers to start having to call their timeouts. And then eventually you're 1 to 2 first downs away.
I'm not going to agree with that.
When you're going to talk about situational, you're going to take the shot on first down.
But that's not a shot. Like
first down,
a dig route isn't a shot. Like that's an intermediate.
It was still
pass.
A 15-yard pass.
Look, a shot. If you're going deep down the field, if you're trying to score on that play, that I don't mind because that's like, okay, if it doesn't work, you still have second down. A 50-50 ball to Claypool, whatever. Like that's cool with me. But like the intermediate, it's like it's somewhere between, like you could play conservative and you could play aggressive. It was like. It's not the right time to find that happy median. It's like in Karate Kid, like karate yes, karate no, karate so-so, smash like grape. That's what it was. This was a karate so-so moment for Justin Fields.
I think wax on, wax off. That ball should have been.
What the fuck was that?
I don't know. He just lost me with that. But
Frank got it.
If it is situational football, then don't call that dumbass play.
Exactly.
Don't call the play period. And don't make EQ the number one read on that play.
Right. The number one read should have been probably Pettis or Montgomery. And Anthony,
I was saying
you never make a fucking running back the number one fucking.
No, but they were bailing off Komet. That would have been the throw to me.
Komet was open too. Komet, Pettis, and Montgomery were each open for like 5 or 6 yards at least. I'm just saying.
Again,
it could have been a play where that was the. You learn when you watch film. Yeah. You learn. He's young. You learn. You watch films. You see that.
He'll be fine. I mean, obviously, Justin Fields is the guy they picked in the first round, so he's there to make everyone better. So he'll learn from this and be better off in that situation. Hopefully, he learns from his mistakes and doesn't make. I think I put it in a quarterback. Honestly, he shouldn't have thrown the ball. Regardless of what the play was. You reserve the right to kick the ball, and that's punt the ball if you got to, or kick a field goal. But you don't throw that ball when you see color. He knows the personnel. That's one of the best players on that defense. So if he's anywhere in the vicinity, don't throw the ball. So I mean, my blame goes on the quarterback. The receiver didn't run a good route. DB was all over it. That happens sometimes. You as a quarterback overcome that and you throw the ball somewhere else, or you use your feet like you've been doing.
So what did you see as far as Justin throwing the ball though, from your perspective as a receiver? Because if you take those 2 plays away,
he had a great game.
He's still 20 of 23. He was 20 of 25. Right. He's still 20 of 23, showing 3 beautiful deep, 20-yard plus passes.
Right.
In my opinion, probably my opinion only on this panel, why not continue to stretch the field if he's having success? Like, I wouldn't have mind seeing him throw the ball 30 times that game.
I mean, it could be a situation with maybe there's somebody on defense to where they don't want him to take a sack. It could be. I mean, I don't know why coaches don't throw the ball down the field more, but a lot of it probably has to do with pass protection. I don't know how great their offensive line is.
The line played
that was the best game they've had, hands down.
Alex Leatherwood.
But is the line normally like that? Is the line normally like that?
We had one of the worst offensive lines in the first half.
Right, so you can see a coach's game plan to throw the deep ball. That's a long developing play. So the game plan coming into the game, he's not going to be like, I can throw a 10 10 times down the field because the
I actually
likelihood of
think
getting
Justin
him.
just
This is
did
why
that himself.
they have Justin Fields in a lot of run type plays to kind of just keep the defense guessing, because in the first half of the season, I'm siding with JB now because that offensive line has looked really good these past few weeks. Better and better every
They look
week.
good. Yes.
Yeah, better and better.
No,
But it's all just
they were
the fact
solid
that they're
last week.
moving
They was
Justin.
definitely
Yeah,
solid last
they
week.
looked good against the Packers.
They looked solid
Alex
against the Jets. They did.
Nah, they were all right against the Jets. I give them all right against
I
the
said
For the
solid.
Jets, for
And
the
Trevor-
Jets, they
Anthony, I
played
think
pretty
you're
good.
thinking
Jets
about
Trevor
the second
Siemian-
interception, not the
Trevor
first. The
Siemian
first one
threw
was
the
the
ball
first down.
25 times that game too.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if this is one of those things.
You
that
said
gets
what
you.
now? What did you say?
I said Trevor Siemian threw the ball against the Jets 25 times, which is an even better defense. So I'm saying he trusts them enough to maybe I don't know this for fact, but maybe Getsy's like he wants to stay around that 25 pass range. Like he doesn't want to, like Mike White the other day, I think he threw the ball 57 times or something crazy like that, right?
No, you're right. You're right.
But I know he's not going to do that. So maybe it's in Getsy's game plan to say we're going to stay around 24, 25, 26. Because Devin, is that a thing with certain offensive schemes? Like they don't want to overpass?
I mean, most of the time they're going to game plan to the team they're playing. If it's a week, okay, when I was playing, we want to establish the run, then that's what we're going to go into the game doing, and then have some shots that we take downfield when they bring that extra guy into the box. If it's a team to where we're going to try to expose a certain DB, then we may pick on or go after this certain person. Like knowing if we know we're going against someone like that that's going to sit on routes, then we're going to go deep at them. We're going to go deep on them all day, at least when I played. Because that way we can get the short routes underneath. Because now he's got to change. He's got to change up what he's doing, or we're just gonna keep going deep. But I don't.
Arms over Baghdad, keep it going, right? Like I don't understand, but we're kind of we're just gonna say the T word. We don't like saying it, but we're seeing the tanking put into place, and some of the plays I saw, especially on two of the deep balls Justin threw, he kind of made some moves and then ran out the pocket and threw the ball deep.
Right.
Probably wasn't supposed to take that shot, but he was like, nope, right. I'm taking it. You damn near can see it with the play development. But, I mean, when you, as a receiver, when you have a quarterback that can air the ball out, we're not talking about somebody that can't throw the ball past 20 yards. You can run past that deep ball. How does that make that feel? Do they even listen to you all when you like, Coach, I got this guy?
I mean, they do. And usually they'll come to it. They have a certain, I mean, as far as offensive coordinators, it seems like they have a certain plays they want to run to see what the defense is going to do to set up everything.
You're talking about like that first 10 or 15 scripted play?
Right. Just kind of see what the defense is going to do. So you got to wait to get that opportunity. It may not come as early as you want, but if you let the coach know you can run by the guy, I mean, I used to just let the quarterback know because that's the person that was going to make the decision or make the check. So he would relay it to the coach, or if he had the ability to make that decision himself, then we didn't have to wait, for the OC to kind of call a certain play. But I definitely would let him know.
Ever have to ask the coach? I want Devin to run it.
Jay was gonna do what Jay wanted to do. So
Jay was gonna
Jay was gonna do what Jay wanted to do.
Say that on his little talks too. Jay did whatever the hell he wanted to do.
Yeah, Jay was gonna do what he wanted to do, which I didn't have no problem with that, man. Jay like to throw the ball down the field, and I like to run. So hey, it's fine.
Hey, I know Easy got to get out of here in 10 minutes. I wanted him to go ahead and say what he wanted to say before he jetted it out.
So I'm going to get my last words. First of all, I want to say thank you, Devin. It's great meeting you. I was 13 years old when you scored that game-winning touchdown Monday Night Football, and it was just a great night. The Bears were out of it at that point, but that was really cool. Also, I grew up around a lot of Auburn fans, so War Eagle always.
War Eagle.
In that respect. Secondly, Easy does it coming out this Thursday. I'm going to talk to you boys, see who wants to be on the show with me. We're going to talk, just a lot of Bears football. Should be a lot of fun. And lastly, I want to say the reason why I hold Justin Fields to such a high standard is because he has earned high expectations from all of us. And I think that is more than we could say about any other quarterback. With Mitch Trubisky, every time he made a great throw, it was like, hey, man, like that's a miracle. And I like Mitch, but still. Justin Fields, he's that dude. And I think that's why I'm so hard on him, is because he's shown me that he can be very, very good. And with that, I want to say good night, y'all. Look forward to all the banter coming up, and bear down as always.
All right, easy.
All right, easy.
Number 2
I'll
pick.
let you.
So back to you, Devin. Who was your favorite offensive coordinator as far as what you felt you did best?
We all know it ain't Mike Martz. So.
Even if it was in college. I was trying to remember, who was your college quarterback? It's escaping me right now.
Jason Campbell was, Jason Campbell was my quarterback in college.
A Bear quarterback that we have for a hot second.
Yeah, he was here for a little bit. I forgot about that.
It was only like half a year, wasn't it?
Did he start for us a little bit? I think
he did start for us.
Maybe he got hurt, right? Yeah.
His first game, he was decent.
That San Francisco game was his demise.
I like the one I had in the Indy, Tom Moore.
Old
school dude, but just the way, and I don't know how much of that was actually his offense or if it was just kind of something they tailored for Peyton. Obviously, I got there well after they were kind of established on what they wanted Peyton to do, but the way we did stuff there, like it was that offense, if believe it or not, was so simple. It was like it made everything so simple. You just had to they just plug people in and Peyton would tell people where to go based off the defense, and you were open 90% of the time. So the autonomy that they let him have because he was so good just made it easier for everyone else. He literally just called plays and Peyton would go out there and adjust the play if it needed to be adjusted or go with the play. So I don't know if that was Tom Moore being a great OC or if it was just Peyton Manning being Peyton Manning. Right.
Yep.
But I like that offense that we ran. If I was offensive coordinator, I would run a similar type of offense.
So I see that you truly believe that a coach should adjust his playbook accordingly to the players that he has, opposed to having players and sit up and say, y'all gonna do this shit my way.
Well, you see what happened with Mike Morris. Mike Morris wanted to do it his way. And, you
just saw what happened to us the last 4 years, too.
Yeah, you adjust to the person there that you have, and you put those guys in the best position to succeed. And that, that works for everybody because that builds confidence. Everybody can play. Everybody on the roster can play. It's just the guys who are playing with confidence and the ones that aren't. Because some guys know if they make a mistake, they may not play again. And some guys know that I can make 5 mistakes, I'm still going to play. So, playing with that type of confidence and knowing, I'm not going to get taken out of the game, it has a big effect on players.
Right.
So, playing to their strengths is what coaches should do. But sometimes egos get in the way and they want stuff to be done how they want to do it. And it's to the demise a lot of times of, the team and the program.
All right. So tell me this. Your time in the NFL, first question, which coach had the biggest ego? And second, which player had the biggest ego that you've ever played with?
Coach.
Or played for?
I would say I know the answer to that.
Coach would be Mike Martz. Player.
I'm going to shock you.
I'm trying to think. I didn't play in Indy. We didn't have in Chicago. When I came back to Chicago for training camp, I knew I trained. I didn't train with Brandon, but I met Brandon when we both got drafted the same year. Brandon Marshall,
right?
Mm-hmm.
So we hung out, and when we hung out, I was like, this. I said, this is a different type of dude. But I don't know if he has an ego to call. I wouldn't call it the ego, but more so just like he's just different. The way he just does stuff and he reacts to situations and handles them. But I didn't really play with anybody, that was a person that wasn't like, I'm not going to practice. I'm not going to do this and that. Not that I remember. I'm sure with some people, but I didn't really have someone like, man, I can't play with him on the field. But Brandon was just somebody that was, I have some stories I wouldn't even want to say or air, but it was just some different stuff that he did, man. That was like, man, this dude, he's just different. But he came to work though.
So I heard a story. Now you can confirm, deny, or laugh. I heard Adrian Peterson was one of those dudes like, damn all that, give me the ball. Fuck them, give me the ball, give me the ball. Is that true?
Right. Yeah, I mean, he wants the ball, but no, he's not.
He had an ego on the field.
Yeah, he always wanted the ball, but that's a lot of guys, and that's a lot of great players. You know, they want the ball in their hands. Percy Harvin was the same way.
I remember from Florida.
I rate, to me, honestly, and a lot of people may disagree. As a football player, Percy Harvin was the best. He was a better football player than Adrian Peterson was. Like, I mean, it was situations where we had him at running back on the 2 or 3 yard line to run the ball, and they put Percy at running back. Like, I mean,
and he played quarterback in high school too, didn't he?
He may have before.
Percy was a dog. He was a problem.
Yeah, he was a football player. I to me, honestly, that's probably, in my opinion, the best football player I played with. Like, he would play anywhere. He would block anybody. He would do whatever he had to do to win. I mean, return kicks, play running back, play receiver, like everything. But no, Adrian Peterson didn't have an ego at all. He was a great team player.
Did y'all cross paths in Florida? I mean, or in Florida?
No. I'm older than Percy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember. Right, because you're not 40 yet, right? Yeah.
As always,
you're not 40 yet, right?
I'm almost.
Okay.
Yeah.
As always, after we play the Packers, or before we play the Packers, we have a fan.
Oh, come on. You're going to bring her in again?
Say whatever it is.
It's not the time, man.
And there she is.
Hey, Devin, we apologize, man. I didn't know this was going to happen.
You know her. You love her.
No, we don't.
I do love her.
At all.
What is that you got to say this time?
Let me refill my whiskey before she says.
I love you guys. I hope y'all know that. Hey, Devin.
Hello, how are you?
Y'all. I am great. Hope y'all like. So I have on my 8-year-old t-shirt. So.
Don't tell nobody else that.
Good for you, fitting in the 8-year-old t-shirt.
Yeah, I know it's a little medium, but I'm in here. I love you guys because like it's past my bedtime, but I'm like,
oh, don't let us keep you.
Yeah. Well, in the spirit of Christmas, I came bearing tidings of great joy and gifts for all of you wonderful people. So shall I begin, or would you all like to
go ahead.
Hey, begin what? Like, go ahead, man. Go like this is I'm sorry, Devin. I don't even mean to put you through this, man. Let him talk.
Is JR, is everything okay? Would you?
Who the hell is JR?
You all right?
JR?
Oh, JB. I'm sorry. I told you I'm ready for bed. I'm
I mean,
JB, you all right? You?
Hell no.
We good? No.
Okay, get this.
Okay. Just takes his video off.
Right.
Okay,
he's like,
so
I'm not dealing with this.
All right. First, I love you guys, and
how many more times are we gonna hear that before we get to the freaking roast?
Right. Go ahead.
Get to the point,
Oh
man. I had this old like speech prepared where I was going to talk about how great of a game it was for Justin Fields.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, like legit, like. But I don't think y'all want to hear that. Like, I think you all want.
Shot.
Yeah, I think that's what you guys want from me, right? But like, I can be sensible. So put it like this, because T Nick is like, So, you know what? I actually got to call my tenants. So I own a property, and they haven't paid me yet. But I appreciate the Bears for submitting your rent payment to the Packers because it was due. And if the Packers don't do nothing else this season, as a fan, I can't count on MMFs to do a bunch of nothing. But one thing is for certain. They know how to collect that payment from our beloved rivals about 90 miles east. So
east?
From where I am, east,
Is it east?
I
don't know where you are.
Wisconsin's clearly above us.
So yeah. So I appreciate the rent payment. I gotta go holler at my tenants.
Okay, bye.
And
all right, I couldn't take no more.
I couldn't either. And the fact of the matter is,
sorry, Devin. Sorry,
She couldn't even roast us.
But
she couldn't even roast us because she knows dark days are coming for that team.
Yeah,
not even.
I'm not even future's bright for Chicago, man.
Yeah,
they're gonna be all
future
right.
is shit for Green Bay.
But I will take my little. We don't do moral victories. We just don't do that. No participation trophies, none of that. But head to head, Justin outplayed Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, hands down.
Hands down. And
but I mean, we're always going to hear, Aaron Rodgers is his vagina was hurting or something.
Okay, he owns us, whatever. But I don't want to hear none of that crap. He was 18 for 31, not even 200 yards. Justin was 20 for 25, 250 and some change. He outplayed Aaron Rodgers, and that's just the fact. And we have to look at it, in my opinion, right? We have to look at it as in, now, can we as Bears fans, right, Devin, look at Justin Fields to bring us out the dark ages, to finally put us in that realm when we can have a 4,000-yard passer, a guy that threw 30 touchdowns. What you think about that? Because I ain't seen that since Johnny Lujack.
I mean, I think he can, especially if you're telling me they're moving inside. I mean, that creates the perfect element.
Yeah, that's still 5. He might not even.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's tough out there in that wind, man, to throw for that much. It's hard. I mean, you'll see some passes and some balls just look like, where did that come from? And you just gotta. It's just part of the elements. But I mean, you got.
And that's crazy. You said that because Jay Cutler, they said. He throws the ball so hard, it's the equivalent of throwing a 96-mile-per-hour fastball.
Who said about Jay?
Jay Cutler.
Yeah, Jay can zip the ball, man. I trained with
Jay. Jay can cut that wind, can't
he? Yeah, he could throw, man. That's why he thinks he could throw every pass and every window off his back foot. But he had a gift, man. I surprise a lot of people when I say this, but as far as pure talent, he was the most talented quarterback I played with.
Oh, okay.
As far as just what he could do with his arm. And the throws that he could make, and he had that ability to do that. And I mean, I guess sometimes it didn't work to his advantage because he thought he could make every throw, but a lot of throws he made, a lot of quarterbacks could not make. But yeah, it's hard to ask someone to throw. What'd you say, 4,000 yards?
So this is one of them little bear facts. We've never had a quarterback throw for 30 touchdowns or 4,000 yards. The closest we've came, Eric Kramer, and I'll never forget who dropped the ball. Eric Kramer threw for 29 touchdowns one year, and I think it was 37 or 3,800 yards. And he did miss one game, right, T? He missed one game that season or 2 games. And then it was Jeff Graham dropped that ball. And Jeff Graham never drops the ball. So
he didn't never drop nothing, but he dropped that.
It was like the perfect storm, right? So just to hear, because now, crazy notion. I don't know how much you just follow. I know you said you don't really watch the NFL, but Jalen Hurts, Philadelphia, style quarterback, is about to throw for 4,000 yards and rush 4,000 yards.
Wow. I've seen he's been having an excellent year. I mean, they're playing good all around, so that's part of it. But
they gonna kick our asses when they come here in a couple weeks.
That's about 3 weeks away, right, T?
2.
But I mean, he got some weapons out there too now, and Smith and Brown.
We fuck around and win that game. Watch, that's how dumb shit goes.
That'd be so fucked up.
I promise you, I think they would be like, nope, halfback dive.
I will be happy if we just compete with them.
Man, please.
Did you see what they did to the Titans?
Did they destroy the Titans?
No. But not to talk too much about the Eagles, but I just made that as a comparison because they're similar styles, right?
Right, yeah.
And in my opinion, I'm going to be the first to tell you these guys ride me all the time. Pause. I'm not a fan of Luke Getsy and the way he's running this offense. Now, either because he's tailored it to tank, right? Or he just don't know what the hell he's doing. Because some of that stuff is just dumb. And you all know, by you being on the field, I know you've had a OC call playing. You like, what?
Right.
You don't see this 8-man in the box if you don't give me a play action over the top. I know you see it.
That's why, I mean, a lot of teams that have success on offense have quarterbacks that are able to take control. Rarely
change
do you have
play or audible.
Both.
Okay.
Rarely do you have quarterbacks that are consistently good, not having 1 or 2 good years, but just consistently good year in, year out, that have to go with the play that's called. Because you're on the field, you see what's going on. So if you don't have that autonomy to be able to change the whole play or say, hey, coach, we need to call timeout, I need to call something else, then it's hard because the coach does not see that. They don't see what you see. That's what makes those quarterbacks great, that they're able to go out there and say, this is what we need to run, or I need to change, I need to check it, and I need to change it to something totally different. If you got a guy that's just going to take the plays from the coach, it's hard to be successful. Because that's somebody giving you a play from the sideline and they don't see what you see, they don't feel what you feel.
Good point.
And it's hard. It's hard for somebody to just take plays, call the plays, and make it work every game, week in, week out. So that's just, I mean, in my opinion, that's doom. You're not going to get far with that. You may have 1 good year, but eventually the defenses catch up with your plays and your schemes.
So if I may speak for you, do you kind of feel like as a receiver, you know when a play call is like, whether it's his first year or 10th, you're like, dude, you ain't got it.
What do you mean, like a you talking about the OC or you talking about
OC,
like quarterback?
OC, like what you doing ain't working. Because sometimes I looked at, you said Peyton Manning, and I know you said that was a simple offense, but we knew Peyton Manning was orchestrating some of that stuff from the line. We could tell.
Right, absolutely, yeah, absolutely. I mean, everything from the protection to, I mean, he would tell us what the defense was going to do before they did it in the play. So he just had that much knowledge of what was going on. So I mean, he's different. I didn't play with anybody else that was that much of a student of the game and understood everything. But
so as great as Tom Moore was, you saying Peyton kind of superseded him in some of the things that he called?
Absolutely, yeah,
okay.
Absolutely, yeah. It was. I mean, it was his show. It was definitely his show. He called that stuff. Tom Moore just kind of laid the foundation on how everything was supposed to be ran, but Peyton knew the situations, knew where he was going to go, and knew what he was going to do, and knew the likelihood of a defense doing a certain thing based off of his pre-snap read. So, and that just comes from studying. I think. I mean, what's Justin Fields? This is his second or third year.
It's his second year, but third different offensive coordinator from his last year in college, his rookie year. Of course, we had Matt Nagy, and now this current.
Why you say that name, man?
I'm sorry, dollar in the square.
Say that.
Yeah, he's got. I mean, y'all gotta give him some time, man. He'll be fine, but he needs to be when he gets to that point and he's on the line of scrimmage and he's moving down the line of scrimmage, barking and telling this guy what to do and that guy what to do. Now he's in the zone and he's coming to his own and he knows what's going on.
And we've seen that. We've seen flashes of that because there are instances like literally like this last game where we were just talking like, man, I'm not doing that dumb shit. I'm doing this. Right. And that's what it's going to take for to have those 10 plus win seasons and him to be successful is him to go out and say, no, this is what I see. This is what I'm going to do. And sometimes it'll work, but most of the time it's going to work. Sometimes it may not, but now he's in control. And it just helps because you build that confidence in yourself and everybody else around you, they kind of rally around you. Okay. Makes sense. And we want Justin to get to that point sooner than later. Actually.
It's sooner or later.
No, sooner than later. Like I'm full transparency. I think Justin, we got lucky. Justin should have been the number 2 pick in the draft. Like, I promise you,
he was the number 2 pick in the draft. For some reason, they kept falling.
I promise you, they're kicking themselves.
I agree.
They didn't draft.
I would have picked his ass. I told you he was the number 1 quarterback on my board.
He was number 1 on quite a few boards at first.
He was, but I hate to say this because I don't want to bring up politics and policy, but the worst kept secret was Trevor Lawrence was going to be the number 1 pick. We knew that.
That's because they've been grooming his ass since he was in fucking high school to be the All-American Goldilocks, All-American boy, Trevor Lawrence. Even though Justin Fields did smash his ass in high school and beat his ass in college.
Yep.
And stats was just as good, if not better. Hey,
so Devin, you spent 3 or 4 years here.
2. Technically 2.5. 2.5.
Okay.
Mhm.
So
here we go.
did you have a chance to eat the pizza, the famous pizza here, or
You know
go
what? I
get a steak?
never ate the pizza because it was it looked like pie, and I couldn't get around that. I couldn't get around that pie look. I mean, people used to bring it all the time, and I was like, man, I can't eat that.
It was good though.
Yeah, I know. I got to go back and try it now because
Not
everybody
like that
talks about the
bullshit
pizza. That's the
Yeah,
first thing
you
they asked me.
got to.
Did I have a pizza? And I was like, no, I never had the pizza when I was there.
So they never brought none of that to y'all, or you
Like,
had an opportunity.
they brought it to me and stuff, and I was just like, I'm not eating that.
Got it. Okay.
You know,
hey, I don't know what that is.
Yeah,
Better than Green Bay because their cheese pizza was, aged through the belly of a bear. Just tasted like shit.
Oh wow!
Wisconsin pizza is disgusting.
What about Harold's Chicken, Devin?
Oh yeah, I had Harold. Yeah, I had Harold, and it was right by the hotel we stayed at. So I ate that every Saturday night before the game.
Everybody went to that Harold's on Wahlberg's right behind the hill, man.
Yeah.
I go to Popeyes.
Mild and hot sauce.
Huh?
Mild and hot sauce.
Did I get? I don't know what I think I got mild. I think I just got mild.
Don't put no damn hot sauce on that shit, T. Put some goddamn mild sauce on that, man. I eat that hot sauce shit.
So you get mild sauce, salt, pepper, and chicken.
All the way out here, man. You put mild and hot.
No, you put mild sauce on that shit. People don't put no goddamn mild and hot on there.
I don't know what you talking about, man.
Hey, on the perch, we definitely do.
That's some good eating, boy. You put that.
Yeah, but we talking about chicken. We ain't talking about the damn perch. We talking about the chicken.
Man, you drink.
They did sell fish. I never had the fish.
Yeah. Oh man, you ain't never had no perch.
Not
from
Harold's.
From it?
No. I always had chicken.
Hey, and you
down south? Mild and ranch. Who the
Mild
fuck
and ranch?
When you come back to town, you call us.
At least I can say I haven't had Harold's. Hey. I wouldn't be doing mild and ranch with my Harold's chicken.
Somebody said ranch. Dude, they don't even serve ranch. Who said ranch?
Brandon, you bringing it from home, dude? You bringing that ranch from home and putting it on your chicken?
I've never heard of that shit.
I didn't know Harold's chicken
I would
sold
never
ranch.
do that.
What the hell is going on right now?
Devin, like, damn, we got into chicken and shit. Hungry as hell over here, man. I ain't ate shit all day.
I don't know.
Harold's was good, man. I had some great memories up in Chicago. It was some great.
So what was your favorite restaurant that you went to while you was here?
Like sit down restaurant.
Yeah.
Or like
because we got plenty of fucking steakhouses around this piece.
Yeah. I'll tell you one place I didn't like. I think it burned down. Was it Chicago Fire or something like that? Or Chicago?
That sounds like the show, but
oh, I know what he's talking about.
Well, the Firehouse.
It was like right up
Firehouse, yeah.
The Firehouse.
That was like
the steakhouse
in Michigan.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
It was like right by a street, like right. It's on the corner.
It was a couple of blocks west of the stadium.
Yeah. I think that's where it was. I went there. Somebody told this was my first. I had signed with a team in the middle of the season, so it was my first. I didn't know where to go, so I called one of my friends who's from Chicago, and he told me to go there. And I went there, and that probably was the worst steak I had. And I couldn't get a taxi back to the hotel. I had to walk like halfway back because nobody would pick me up. It was that was rough. That was 2008, and it was cold outside. And I walked like halfway back to the hotel. I never forget that.
That's disrespectful, man.
But
yeah, they couldn't even come get you.
But I did like outside of like this one really restaurant. I like Portillo's.
A lot of people like Portillo's.
A lot of different options, but as far as like a restaurant, I'm trying to think. It's an Italian spot.
Carmine's. You like Carmine's? Carmine's is all right. Over in that little Viagra triangle, right?
Yeah, I like Carmine's.
No. Is that the one that just closed? Something over there just closed too. Was that Carmine's? Next to Tavern on Rush, right? Yeah, one of them just closed, which is crazy. Yeah, one of them like literally just closed.
Damn, I live right over there. I ain't even noticed this shit.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yep. So, Devin, let me ask you this because we don't want to keep it too long. But have you ever thought about getting into any coaching and stuff? Because I mean, we need help, man.
Especially at wide receiver, teach these people how to run routes and come back to fucking balls.
And I'm dead serious when I asked that too. So when I tell you were one of our favorites, like, man, we was like, we need more 19.
I wish we could have kept you here longer, man.
I mean, with my kids being young, honestly, I don't have the time for it. And you know, I maybe later on in life, my last coach, his name's George Stewart. He coached receivers for a long time. I don't know if y'all know the name. But he told me, he's like, you're gonna coach. And I said, I don't have time to coach. I said, but
because he see it in you.
I'm too honest of a person to be a coach, I think.
Shit, that's what they need.
That's what we need.
Yeah, but
don't blow smoke up my ass. Tell me if I suck shit.
I don't like that sugarcoating stuff, man. I don't.
Yeah, and not in a bad way. I mean, like just in the way like I want. For me, it's more so about developing the actual person and the player. Because if you can get into that person, you can get the best out of them. You know, because everybody that makes it is good. You know, they just need an opportunity, but. Right. For me, it's more so like, so if I ever did it, it would be like a high school or college level and not more so at the NFL to where guys are in and out, you know, the next year. And heck, you as a coach, you don't decide who's on the team anyway. You just coaching them.
You just coach.
So, you know, that's another like disadvantage I see in the NFL. Like a lot of the coaches that have longevity, like with Bill Belichick, he's the GM and the coach. Mm-hmm. So I never understood how you can coach players that somebody else picks and decides who's on the team. It's hard to do that because you're trying to build something, but you don't pick the pieces of the puzzle. Somebody else picks the pieces of the puzzle, and you got to kind of make it work. So for me, it would be hard for me to coach in the NFL. And I like to kind of, you know, help young men grow into, you know, what they want to become. And I think that's easy to do in high school and college. So if I ever did it, it would probably be at those levels versus the NFL, because it's too much. Have those coaches in the NFL, they don't know. I'm just being honest with you. They don't know what they're talking about, them position coaches. They just got a job. They just got a job from the head coach that knows someone or their dad used to coach in the NFL.
I can tell you some names of people office too, man. Because you look at some of them motherfuckers.
They don't know. Like, they don't know what they're talking about, man.
Say some names. Say some names.
I ain't gonna say no names.
No, we ain't gonna put them on the spot. But no, but we've thought some of the people that, you know how you have one of them moments like this guy.
Right.
We've thought that for a long time, but of course there's no proof. But it's really refreshing to hear you say that, because now not only does that confirm our suspicion before, but now it's like when you put certain people in place and they don't take any accountability, now we know why.
Right. Yeah, they don't. I mean, they don't know. I mean, they got a guy that went to Auburn. He's a quarterback. He's a quarterback at Auburn. Mm-hmm. And I probably gave y'all too much information. Anyway, he coaches in the NFL right now, and I'm like, ain't no way.
Quarterback at Auburn that coaches in the NFL now. That's too vague. It's a lot of Auburn quarterbacks.
Hey, Don Bird, he still ain't shit.
Hey, they're fucking Don Bird.
We
always get our normal Lion
fucking Lions going ahead. This is the best season some bitches had in about 20 years, and they 5-7.
Not even 500 though. They're still not even 500.
Fuck out of here. Yeah, but go ahead. Yeah, I truly agree with that, because I'm a big sports enthusiast. So I watch baseball, I watch basketball, I watch football. And when I'm sitting up here thinking, like, as a fucking fan, if I'm the fucking GM and I see certain shit, and I'm just a fucking fan, I'm not getting paid to do this shit.
Right.
How the fuck are you that's making 6 to 7 fucking figures a year can't fucking figure out the shit that I already fucking know? Know what you missing, know what you fucking need. So what the fuck y'all do? Y'all get together, have some fucking Giordano's pizza, and fucking sit up there and go up like, oh yeah. So yeah, this is what I'm gonna do. This is what I'm gonna do. They fucking, like, there's no fucking way in hell that they're actually putting forth any effort in doing the job. It's just like they get together, talk some shit, and then because whoever it is that they know, whoever's in charge, you know, they good to go. They have job security until that motherfucker get fired.
Mm-hmm. That's why they bring their friends.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I had some coaches I wouldn't dare listen to the stuff that they told me about playing my position and doing this and that. And I mean, some of the worst, and the ones I had was pretty good, but some of the worst coaches that I've seen in the NFL is the special teams coaches. I don't know where they get some of these guys from. I mean, it's just like, they don't really coach a position, but they coach in special teams, and special teams is really just all about effort. You know, whether those guys want to go hard on those downs. If you got a starter out there, he may not go hard, but if you got guys that's, you know, tweeners trying to still stay on the team, then it's just effort. So it's not really, you know, some of the people that I'm like, if there was no special teams, you would not be coaching nowhere near anywhere in the NFL. Some of them are good now, but I mean, some of those guys.
That's the buddy position, right?
You got to get guys you got to get guys fired up about special teams. Now, if you block for somebody like Hester, it's different. But for all those other teams, you got to your job is to get guys fired up about special teams so they go out there and do good, because they try to get to the next play anyway. Coach. Pretty much, because I mean, you got to make sure they're in meetings. I hated going to special teams meetings, and it's just, but.
I'm still trying to figure out who you said was the coach, the quarterback from Auburn that coaches now. I can't think of who that is.
A quarterback from Auburn that coaches.
You won't know who he is,
because it doesn't necessarily mean that he was a starter. Was he a starter there in Auburn, or he was just a guy that came there and sat on the bench?
But Auburn, like y'all really didn't have like that top quarterback.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He wasn't. Yeah. You're not gonna know. You're not gonna know who he is.
That's what I said. He wasn't a starter. He was probably some guy that was a quarterback there. But
yeah, you're not gonna know who he is. But he don't coach quarterbacks.
You're saying he's coaching now?
He's coaching it. He don't coach, and he's not. And let me not say because he's probably he's not a bad coach, but if you stay in stuff long enough, then you'll get a job, you know, coaching something. Like the receiver coach I had when I came back to Chicago, I think it was who was it? Was it Grow?
All right, I just cheated and I searched.
You talking about Al Groh?
I've never even heard of this.
His son. What's his son's
His son.
name?
Okay, yeah. Al Groh, that's the old Jets coach.
Yeah, his son was a receiver coach in Chicago at one point, right?
I thought so for like 2 seasons, right?
Yeah, he's terrible.
Look, you at me thinking like NCAA college football. I'm thinking like shit, Damian Craig. Like
no, you're not gonna know. No, Damian Craig, a good coach. Yeah, I think he's in college. He's still in college.
Yeah, he's at Florida State though, ain't he?
He's somewhere, but he's a good coach. I'm not referring to him. You know,
I'm lost. Hell, Jeff Saturday just got a job. So what are we even talking?
You got a point. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't take much to run a team. If you get guys to buy into what you want to do and everybody to play on one accord, then your team will be all right. You got to think you got a lot of guys on these teams that aren't happy in their situation and
not
really
to make
don't want
political
to
or not,
but they're contractually obligated to.
Right.
Not to make it political, but is this guy really black or white?
Saturday's fault.
The guy's not a bad coach.
No. It's not that. It's just that, you know.
Oh, he's black. He's black.
Oh, okay.
He's black. Yeah.
Okay.
He's black.
Well, I'm gonna say that some of these coaches, because our current offensive coordinator has never coached before, called plays as an OC.
He was a fucking quarterbacks coach.
He was the passing game coordinator.
They said he was a quarterbacks coach.
He was a quarterbacks coach that got elevated when LaFleur came to the passing game coordinator, which to me,
where did he come from?
Green Bay.
Green Bay under Aaron Rodgers.
And I don't know. Tell me he taught Aaron Rodgers. He didn't teach Aaron Rodgers shit.
No, it didn't. What is he going to teach him?
Maybe this is just me.
I don't know.
But
I don't know.
There's no fucking way in hell I'm going to bring in a fucking coach from a fucking rival. Just no fucking way in hell. Especially when this particular coach has been playing against us for a few years. I'm not gonna bring this motherfucker in. I'd rather go get somebody from a D2 school than to bring in somebody from a fucking rival to fucking coach my team. That's just me.
Who's the quarterback when Justin Fields got drafted here? Who was the starting quarterback?
Andy
Or who they bring in his rookie year?
Andy Dalton,
Mike-
the red
Andy Dalton.
Andy Dalton.
Yeah,
How long was Andy Dalton here?
Nick Foles
He was here for
already
3
there.
games, pretty much.
He
And
was
then
already
3
there.
games?
Basically.
Did they trade him?
No, he got
No,
hurt,
they didn't trade
and then
him.
he became the backup, and they decided to just.
So they didn't. I mean, I would have figured. I mean, that would have been a good situation. Andy Dalton, and I know y'all don't know, but I figured like that's always a great situation. I think for quarterbacks to come into a situation where they have a veteran quarterback, they can kind of teach them the nuances and certain things like that. That's why I asked. I don't know how much of that.
We had a
Andy
dumbass
did.
coach.
We wouldn't want Andy Dalton.
Well,
to
he didn't even design.
Yeah, but it's just from
We had
him
Andy
being
Dalton
in
and
the
Nick
league.
Foles both on the roster.
Well,
What's
if
that?
he was a backup and some veteran presence, yes. But the former coach, whose name I can't say because I ain't got no more money to put in the swear jar, he never designed the offense. At one point, never tailored it to anything Justin did, and it's been on record that Justin never even took snaps with the first team in this offense.
Even though they lied and said that he did.
Yeah.
So it's like, did they really want just? I don't know. But
Justin
Andy
was
Dalton was
supposed
on
to
a
be
1 year. He was on a 1 year deal. I think $10 million, right?
$10 million, yeah.
$10
Him
million,
and
$10
Foles
million.
both were $10 million.
But
two backups for $10
the
million.
problem is they had Nick Foles already as a backup.
Nobody
Like,
wanted
that made no sense.
That was his savior after we lost Trubisky. We got Foles now. We're gonna win it, and we sucked then too.
Yeah, I knew that Mr. Trubisky thing wasn't good. I remember when they drafted him, I was like,
nobody knew what the hell was going on.
Well,
that goes back to what you said. People don't know what they're doing. They just got jobs.
Yeah. They don't really know.
Not at all, because for the simple fact, it's so crazy that the two quarterbacks, Nick Foles and Andy Dalton, were both on the sideline, and you can read their lips, and they stood up there and said, "Man, this shit just ain't working." Some of the damn coaches, the coach whole offensive philosophy said, "Man, this shit ain't working."
I mean, they don't really know. But it's not rocket science, though. I mean, if you make it simple and guys can play fast and everybody buys in, and you get a good group of guys, I think stuff will work out. It's just sometimes people make it so difficult. It's really not that difficult.
A lot of people did say, I'm not saying his name, did say that his offense was very difficult to understand, but it was so easy for couch potatoes like us to sit home and predict exactly what he was going to call.
Curl, goddamn
it. Draw.
Well, Devin, we know you got kids, man. We ain't gonna keep it too much longer, but we do have one more question from the chat.
Yeah, y'all good, man.
Without getting too political, we want to ask you. Well, he wanted to ask you in the chat, our man Anthony. What do you think about the whole Deion Sanders situation?
Ooh, hot topic.
I went to Auburn, so Auburn was, if you're watching any sports, we were looking for a coach.
Yes, you were.
Prior to Auburn hiring the coach that they fired, I wanted them to get Hugh Freeze then. I thought that would have been the best fit for Auburn at that time, which was like 2-3 years ago. Mm-hmm. But today, right now, to kind of, because we're behind some teams in the SEC we shouldn't have been behind, I think Auburn should have hired Deion Sanders. And I don't know how. I mean, I think he's the best coach available, and everybody that needed a coach should have been going after him because college
schools.
College football is so based, so it's all about recruiting. And just to know his impact that he can have there. I mean, they always try to say experience, and you don't need experience to be a head coach. A head coach is just a politician on the team. Anyway, just handling the politics of it. You're not in the meeting rooms drawing up schemes. I mean, unless you're that OC or that defensive coordinator that's just still that much involved, but you're not in there, making, hey, we're going to do this week. Let's make sure it works, getting the guys ready to go. That's other people's job to do. So, especially at the college level, I think he would have been a great hire for some bigger schools than Colorado. And he would have made an instant impact like he's making there. So it's just, I mean, I think it's an unfortunate situation that some schools still don't believe or just don't want to hire him, you know, for whatever reason. And a lot of schools want to still, you know, if you bring a guy like Deion in, he's going to, the people that used to run the school, they're no longer going to run the school.
They're not right.
Whether it's boosters, whether it's whoever those people are, because Deion is that big. Deion. So some people don't want to lose that. And then you come back to the ego thing. I'm spending this money. I want stuff ran my way. So that holds schools back from getting to where they want to get to. But schools that aren't worried about that or to have nothing to lose, like Colorado's in a situation, they need that. So they're willing to give him full control of everything. And I just don't see, you know, schools that have so much like going on, like an SEC school, they don't want their hand taken off the steering wheel.
Mm-hmm.
But I agree, recruiting, that'd be huge.
Recruiting.
Just his name is going to get you a ton of recruits.
Right, exactly.
But in essence, so Devin, you're saying some of those bigger name teams don't want Deion to be bigger than the program itself.
That's what I'm assuming.
Good point. I never looked.
You know, and I mean like from either the program and from because this, you know, and most of y'all from the Midwest, y'all from up. Yeah. So you know, SEC.
I went to school down there in the South. So
suburban.
Yeah. So SEC, man, it's you know it's ran by they put all type of money into sports. Like you know, I mean, Auburn's hired and fired coaches left and right, and you know.
See, I went to Alabama State, so I already know.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. So I already know how it is. It's like they don't. It's a lot of people that make the decisions that they don't really have. They're just like boosters,
right?
People that are, you know, and those are the people that make the decision on what's going on. Unfortunately, they never really played sports, but they are the ones that are cutting the checks for what's going on. So they have a lot to do.
And their voice carries volume. That's why they make
right. But if you bring somebody like Deion in now, you know, Deion's that's a big deal. You know, you bring Deion in, and Deion's going to want control. He's going to say what he wants to say, and Deion's going to do stuff how Deion does stuff. Right. And, you know, it's just he's not going to sit there and let you tell him, hey, this needs to happen this week or this needs to go this way. It's just not going to work like that. So I think some coaches aren't ready for that. I mean, not coaches, but schools aren't ready for that and didn't want to give that up. I think that's what made Alabama what they were, because prior to Saban coming there, part of Saban going to Alabama was he needed to run the show. And with him being able to run the show, he developed that into what it should have been versus former alumni running the show that have never played football. They just cutting checks. So Alabama giving that up and allowing Saban to do that has built this dynasty that they had. Because if you were to come there and just be a coach and have to listen to what these people say that never played, it'll be hard for Alabama to do what they're doing now, because he had a vision. And obviously you see, you know, the factory he's built down there. So, you know, but schools don't want to give it up. I mean, for whatever reason.
I mean, I think Colorado is probably a good move for him anyway. And the reason why I say that is because, you know, he went to Jackson State, and there at Jackson State, you know, you playing in the SWAC.
Right.
So he was able to bring in 5 stars, 4 stars in there, you know. When most of them schools, they got guys that's probably 2 stars, 1 stars, you know what I'm saying? It ain't even probably a 3-star on most of them schools anyway.
Right.
So it's going to be from him to jump from a SWAC to the SEC. I don't think that he would have been. Yes, the recruiting is good. He been a hell of a recruiter. He's a hell of a recruiter. But as far as doing the X's and O's, I think that would have put so much pressure on him. And so it would have put a big spotlight on Auburn, but would have put so much pressure on Deion to succeed. Even from his first game to his first year, they would have been on his ass about, let's just say, for instance, he went to Auburn and they went, I don't know, they only won 4 games. You know, they would have been on Deion's ass. And Deion has an ego. Like you said, he prime time. So I think Colorado is a nice building block for him to take that next step. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, we black, so we don't get the opportunity to sit up there and pull the Jeff Saturdays of the world. You know, just sit up there fucking on TV and shit and talking, and then next thing I know, oh, what the fuck? Even I'm surprised that I got the fucking coaching job. Like, what the fuck?
But
Are you saying
Deion is college football is so as a head coach, he don't have to worry about X's and O's. His job is to turn whatever program that is around, which he can do as soon as he gets there because he's at presence and recruiting wise, who wouldn't want to play for Deion? Most of the players that he brings into the school is 60-70% of them are going to be African Americans anyway. And most of them, either them or their fathers probably seen Deion. So he has the upper hand on recruiting them when he comes in there. And it's about bringing those players in. He hires a good offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator. All he has to do is run the show. And Deion's prime time, that's what he wants to do is be in front of the camera. So that's all they're going to give him the money to hire a good OC and a good DC.
Yeah, but see, I don't think it's going to be. The only thing is, I don't think that'd be that easy. It sounds easy, but I don't. Did you
see? You probably didn't watch Auburn, but Auburn, when they fired Harsin, they brought in Carnell as a head coach. Carnell Williams, running back. Carnell,
right.
Carnell won. He won 2 games. He went 2-2, and Auburn was a disaster. Why? Because those kids wanted to play for him. He got those kids to play. And that was the difference. He should have been in the running for the head coaching job, honestly. But because it's about getting the guys to buy in and play. We were a terrible football team. There's no way he should have took a team that just fired their head coach, lost their OC, and won 2 of the last 4 games. They played a Mississippi State team down to the wire who ended up beating Ole Miss at the end of the season. Ole Miss is a good football team. This was at Mississippi State. And our team, when he got the job, I think they had 3 wins on the season. And he finished off at 500. He's never had offensive coordinator experience before, and obviously never coached as a head coach. But because those guys will play for him and they could relate to him, and he's been where they want to go, they played for him. And that's the difference that Deion would have, because Deion's going to talk to them from the standpoint, I know where you want to go. I've been where you want to go, versus somebody else that hasn't been where they want to go and is just telling them something for the benefit of them. Deion understands where they're coming from, the situations they came from. So when he speaks to them, it's different from him speaking to them versus a Dabo Swinney speaking to them or Kirby Smart or Nick Saban speaking to them. It's different because Deion came from the same places that they came from. He can relate to everything they're saying, and it comes off different. And when you hear that, you want to play for those people. So, and just me as a player, I would want to play for Deion.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to give it my all because I know Deion has been to where I want to get to, and he's going to help me get to where I want to get to. So that's the part that I see that makes him different, because those guys don't have that. And that's something they're going to fear once he gets to a bigger school. They won't be able to compete with him recruiting wise because they don't have what Deion has. They can't buy it. They can't get it from anywhere. So what they do is they fill up their roster with a whole bunch of guys underneath them that can relate to the players that they're recruiting, but they never make those guys head coaches.
Right.
Well, Deion's in the driver's seat now. When he gets to the school, when he gets to a big enough school, or if it's Colorado, he'll get all the recruits he wants because of who he is and what he's been through and how real he's going to be, because he's came from the same places that those guys came from, versus somebody saying that they can help you get here, but they're really only in it for themselves as a coach. How can you tell me something that you never been where I've been to, where I wanted to go to? You coach me, but you don't know where I came from. Yeah. You don't know where I came from. You don't know what my background is. Like, he had a recruit that's from Fort Myers, where he was from, one of the top recruits, I think.
You talk about the wide receiver.
Yeah, he switched. He switched right then and said he's going there just off the strength of that.
Texas, he left Texas A&M.
I can't remember where it was.
I think he decommitted from Texas A&M.
But that's just the imp.
His phone died.
It looks like Wi-Fi went down. Sam's Club Wi-Fi.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I agree with what he's saying. It ain't never a smooth transition like that all the time.
But Chris, let me ask you this, because I know we haven't dug deep into it, but since we've opened it, we might as well talk about it. here's the three most like profound things that I can say about this whole situation. One, I hate when people say he got enough money. Nobody tells Bill Gates he got enough money. Nobody tells Warren Buffett he got enough money. Nobody tells Jeff Bezos he got enough money. So why are we telling Deion he got enough money? That's first and foremost. Second of all,
I don't got enough money.
Second of all, I don't know if you all know this, but there are 12 out of 131 division football programs. There are 12 black coaches. That's not even 10%.
Oh, no doubt.
And I understand this whole like HBCU premise and stuff like that. Which
my computer died, man.
You got that fresh charger, huh?
I left my charger and it's died on me. But yeah, I think that's just my opinion. Like they saw with Carnell Williams, and a lot of people at Auburn were wanting them to hire him as a head coach because he got the players to play. And I think that's what Deion's capable of doing. And a lot of those schools in the SEC, to be honest with you, they fear that, because if they ever let some of those guys get those jobs, it would never go back in the other direction.
Well, you know how it is in the South, man. It's hard to get a black coach in the South, man.
Yeah. It's hard. It's hard.
No, that's the good old boys network.
Had the first coach. I think it was Sylvester Croom.
Yeah,
I remember. Right, he was short-lived too.
Right, yeah, it was him. I think that was it. I mean, as many players as come through, it's hard. I mean, how has there not been a black head coach at an SEC school? You know, but they hired them as position coaches because their job is to recruit the players.
Exactly.
Get the players to come to the school.
And then elevate, right? Elevate. Like Deion said, they come in and they either elevate or they get terminated. That's what Deion said.
I mean, he's absolutely correct. Like I was saying, Devin, telling them.
No,
he's absolutely correct. Let me tell you something. And this has been proven, because I just told them the stat about out of 131 Division I football programs, there's only 12 black coaches.
12. Wow, I didn't know that. That's this year?
Currently. That's only 10%. That's not even 10%.
Wow.
Right? So what I'm saying is, and respect about Eddie Robinson, absolutely. One of the greatest out of Grambling. But you know what they was never going to let Eddie Robinson do? Bring Grambling up to a Division I program. They was never going to let Eddie Robinson do that. I don't care about how many recruits he had. I don't care about enroll, because, you know, a lot of D1 programs, it's all based like on enrollment more so than it is.
Yeah.
You know,
that's how you get there, off of your enrollment.
Right. And it's like, but notice back in the day, Devin, certain big name schools did not want to play those SWAC schools.
Right.
They'd rather play Appalachian State than go down there and bust with them boys in Grambling. You know what I'm saying? They never wanted to do that. And now that the tables, to a slight degree, right, have turned. But what Deion, in my opinion, first of all, the hire makes him able to make Colorado recruit the nation.
Right.
They're no longer just West Coast, you know,
right.
Right. They can recruit the nation. That's one. Two, all those 3 and like low-level 4-star recruits that are sitting on Alabama's bench, Ohio State's bench, that never get to play till like the end of their junior year or senior when somebody get hurt. Now they get to come in start.
Right.
They get to show what they get to do. Now, I'm taking USC's best receiver. I'm taking Notre Dame's best lineman. I'm taking Alabama's best safety. And they're going to Colorado.
As long as you're not taking anybody from Michigan. No, we're good.
Well, maybe even Michigan. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know if he'll be able. If they're playing, I don't think that they're going to transfer over to Colorado. Now, like you said,
if they're playing, yes. That's not what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'm talking about those, because Chris, we was in school. You know, it's people that's like, man, dude, you good as hell, but because this kid's daddy's a booster and this mama, they're not playing.
Right.
Yeah.
Deion is about to eliminate all that.
Right.
He's like literally like this beacon of hope, in my opinion, because now I'm like, and I don't care if you reside with a PWI or you know, gung-ho HBCU. If the kid wants a chance to go to the next level, You cannot tell me that somebody that's a Hall of Fame player at that level cannot put you in the best position to succeed. You cannot tell me that.
If I'm a defensive back, I'm going to go to Colorado and play there. If I play
They
anywhere
don't
in the
have the best
secondary, I'm
secondary in the
going to go play there. Why would I go play anywhere else?
Right.
That's true, but like I said, only time would tell because this ain't the SWAC, man, that he's about to roll into. You know what I'm saying? Like even though we talk about Deion being a great recruiter, which he is, there's a guy that's head coach over there in Miami, Cristobal, that was a hell of a recruiter too, and he didn't get the job done over there at Oregon either. So, and now you going, if I'm not mistaken, Colorado's in the Pac-12, right?
And they're at the bottom of the Pac-12. And
Yeah,
USC
so now you're going against the USCs, the Utahs,
right,
the UCLAs. Now we're going to find out, is it all a show because he can recruit good, or can he sit up there and coach? Because that's where he's going to be. He going to be sit up there judged on that. In the SWAC, you can probably get away, you know what I'm saying, with being able to recruit. Like I said, he got those guys to come there. But now you're going against the USCs.
But you don't think he's gonna get the top players at Colorado?
I think you said it. He gonna get the coach.
He gonna get some players. I want to see if he gonna be able to coach because you ain't gonna have a team. You ain't gonna have the advantage now. You ain't going in there being at Jackson State with 4 and 5 stars playing guys that got no damn stars.
Hopefully they give him the money to go out there and sign a good, offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator.
Absolutely.
So he doesn't have to worry about that, and he can just go out there and politic and bring the players in, and now those guys groom them and do their job. Which I'm sure he knows defense, but I wouldn't even for Deion. It would be more so about
recruiting in the face.
Yeah, recruiting, changing the reputation of the school and our identity and who we are, and making it cool to go to Colorado.
Right.
So now it's all of a sudden Colorado is cool to go to Colorado because Deion's there, because their whole makeup, their whole, like how we view them is changed, and their swagger is changed. And now the players start to play differently just because they coach Deion.
Like I said, hey, I wish the brother nothing but the best, but goddamn it, he gonna have some motherfucking trials and tribulations in there. You playing that Pac-12 with USC, and them boys recruit.
USC about to leave though. Remember, they about to go to the Big Ten.
Oh damn, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about that shit. Yeah, shit might be good in the Pac-12 now.
2024, I think they go to
the Hey, matter of fact, Colorado, that was a smart move because shit. USC and UCLA is leaving.
Let me tell you something. If he went to SEC, I'd agree with you, but that Pac-10 is trash.
That Pac-12, that shit was good this year.
It's trash, man.
This year.
No, it was top heavy.
It
wasn't good. It was
defensively. They're not playing. They don't play no defense out there.
You
saw what Ohio State did to Utah last year,
correct?
And we call it Utah the best team. So all those kids that went to Utah, you telling me they're gonna go to Utah instead of Colorado?
Yeah,
where Deion is?
What the fuck is in Utah?
Yeah, I mean, someone stupid. I mean, look, winning is winning. It don't matter how you do it, you win.
True, but I think Utah has been one of the top premier teams in the last few years because USC's been down and Oregon's been down.
I don't think that they're not going to continue to be there because Deion came there.
Well, I think those kids are going to be like, well, the kids from California will be like, well, do I want to go to Utah or do I want to go play where Deion is? Or do I want to go to Oregon and get Nike and wear all these uniforms? And
shit, they're going to go fucking Oregon.
So
they're gonna go to Oregon before they go to fucking Colorado.
Yeah, but you don't know the deal that Deion can make because he brought Under Armour. He brought Under Armour to Jackson State, and I want to say, if I'm not mistaken, Jackson State was sponsored by Russell Athletics. That shit you see in Walmart, right?
Man, you talking about Phil Knight and Nike.
But
Oregon changed their damn uniforms every fucking game. Shit. They damn field is damn near camouflage.
Great ass color.
Colorado's already Nike, so I don't see that being a problem. And not to mention, and this is why I say I think it's a good move for Deion as well, because now you put yourself in the position, in my estimation, that no matter what you do, you really can't fail because Colorado hasn't been relevant since Cordell Stewart and Rashawn Salam. Like,
Yeah, what they win 1 game last year or 3 games, I think it was.
Right. Now their basketball team has gotten a lot better, right? But their football team is
they got a good hockey team too.
Terrible. You know what I'm saying? He come in, let's say his first year, he come in and go, 7-7. That's a win because they ain't seen 7 wins in about 20 years. You know what I'm saying? So
shit, he come in there and do 7-7 shit. That's a fucking miracle.
Well, he got the number 1 recruit coming with him from last year, Hunter. So Hunter's going to Colorado.
Did he announce it?
Yeah, he already said he's in the portal going to Colorado.
I never heard it was in the portal. Damn.
Yeah, he's gone. He's gone. I think him and his son, the one that played quarterback, I think those two.
That's Sador. I know Sador coming, but he also told his son, you're going to have to compete for that position too.
Right.
Which I like. Like, it ain't nothing being handed.
But Travis Hunter, he can play all. I mean, that boy, he's for real. He's a game changer. He's probably going to come in and be first team all Pac-12 next year. And he'll change the landscape. He'll shut down one side of the field. And if he let him play offense, he'll play a little bit of offense.
That's the boy from Florida?
No, the one from Georgia, the top recruit last year.
Okay.
Hunter. Yeah.
That ain't hard in the Pac-12.
Hey, look, I'm all for the man. I wish Deion.
Yeah, we'll see what he does, man. I wish he would have came to the SEC.
That's what I really want to see. I want to see what he's going to be able to do. Damn the recruiting, because I already know that he can fucking recruit shit. All they got to do is come in there and put on his song, Must Be the Money. Yeah, this was me back in the 90s and shit. So I know he can recruit. I just want to see how it's going to translate on the field as far as the coach.
Right.
I got you.
It'll be interesting. It'll definitely be interesting. But Devin, we appreciate you coming on the podcast, man.
No problem.
Up with us. Man. We kept you for 2 hours, so we gonna let you go, man. But we certainly appreciate it, bro.
Yes, sir,
All
bro.
right, y'all have a good one.
I'll be in touch with you after this.
Hey, when you come down, man, you come back to the shop, man. We're gonna have to hook up, get some
get that pizza.
Get that pizza, man.
Yeah, I'll let y'all know, man. Not too something that's not too deep like pie, man. Something
we got a spot for you. We got a spot for you.
All right.
All right,
y'all have a good night.
Yeah, you too.
All right.
Man, that was awesome.
Yeah, I like that dude, man. Devin's a great dude, man. A lot of fun.
Yeah, he wanted Deion bad over there. I don't blame him though.
I don't blame him.
Deion is gonna get you the recruits, man. He is gonna get you.
Okay, let's get up off of Deion for a second, man. Let's get up off of Deion.
Pause. I thought you were gonna pause after the D.
No,
we're too old to pause.
Because this is the Chicago Clubhouse podcast. We're gonna talk about Deion tomorrow on In the Zone. Are you in? JB?
I'll be there. Yep.
Chris, you in?
I'll be there live.
Yeah, I might home here. Show up.
Okay. So In the Zone.
Call me when you get off, Chris.
Okay.
In the Zone with Brian Foster, we're gonna talk about the whole Deion situation.
Oh shit!
And
where is this at? I didn't even get it.
It'll be very interesting. It's on In the Zone. On Facebook. In the Zone. So man,
I'm just messing with you. But Foul got that.
What happened? I missed it.
I must have missed it too. But I want to bring this up to you guys real quick before we get ready to get out of here. Not to keep you too long, but the rest of the season, right? What are we looking? Is it time to just throw it all in? Just throw it all. I mean, not to say that they haven't thrown it all in, because to me they want to go 0-17, right? but
what are you thinking though? Like, are you saying to sit Justin?
Well, no. What I'm saying is, if you're planning to lose anyway, you might as well just open up the playbook and let's see what the kid can really do.
I agree with that.
254 yards on 20.
If he throws 3 picks a game, whatever.
20. Let's get it out of his system now.
I can agree with that,
because we have officially been eliminated from the playoffs. Not that was even a concept that they were thinking, but. And again, the problem I have, and Frank, we spoke about this just a touch the other day. You're in that GM spot, and you're so focused on getting the number 2 pick in the draft. Now, what you do with it, there's speculations. We've talked about possible trade options or whatever, getting more draft capital. whatever your case is. But in my opinion, the most important component of all of this is still the Justin Fields development in his maturation as quarterback. You can't tell if he can throw the ball if you don't let him throw the ball.
I agree with that.
And now you have nothing to lose. And then you probably have, 2 Super Bowl contenders coming up, right? We're in a bye week. We got the Bills coming, the Eagles coming in. And then, do we want to just say, let's go beat the Lions? Do we want to say that? Or do we want to say, that?
I would rather them say, let's go beat the Packers. The
reason I'm asking that, and I'm not trying to be facetious at all. I'm asking that because now, how many more of these games can a team go back and say, man, if you look at everything, we weren't that far off from winning, and we really don't have a team.
Yeah.
This Justin Fields dude is putting us in positions in spite of us trying to tank. To me, that speaks volumes, man.
But let me tell you this though. Say it's more than likely not going to happen, but say we go out and lose to the Eagles 38-35. Justin Fields puts up 350 freaking yards. They open the play. I'd love for them to do that.
But he got to do it. It's they're afraid to let him open up because, oh, shit, we might win.
Do you consider this Packer game kind of opening it up a little bit? Because he passed a lot more. He dropped back a lot more.
I'll say yes in one aspect, and that's only because, in my opinion, of which Devin agreed, he decided to take more deep shots, which elevated the yardage, right? The line played well enough to show, in my opinion, if you give Justin time, he really can throw the ball.
And Leatherwood played good enough that he should be your starting tackle.
In his first action,
yes, I think he should be your starting tackle this week.
Now, hold on now. So give me your configuration. Give me your line configuration.
Well, unfortunately, I have to put Mustafa there.
Why?
Because who's your other center right now? Leatherwood was the one taking your backup center role.
I'll get to that, but keep going. So, Mustafa.
You're looking at, obviously, you're still going to get Jenkins. And then, I'd say, actually, I'd put Leatherwood at right. And, as much as, because Leatherwood played right tackle this week, right? He didn't play.
Well, remember,
Braxton Jones still played.
Braxton Jones was playing.
Yeah, Braxton Jones was still your left, and Whitehair was still your guard. So that would be my starting line. Leatherwood has earned a chance to be my starting right tackle this week.
What if you did this? What if you saw what Braxton Jones can give you at left guard? Take Mustafa out. Let Whitehair play center for the rest of the year, which he's played.
We've always said this, though. They don't want to do that, though.
I'm just saying what if, because I'm just looking at how to maximize protection. And let's see if Leatherwood, who was drafted as a left tackle, can actually play some left tackle, because I'm sorry, it can't get much worse than Braxton Jones. Although he played well yesterday.
He had a very good game too versus the Packers.
He played well yesterday. He did.
He had a very he did. I say very well because it was a lot better than what he looked like.
The only reason I'm asking that is because, assuming that we just get the one pick and take the edge rusher, are we so sure that with that second pick, right, that he's going to take the best offensive lineman available? Because I can say this.
No.
Right now, we need all five. No. Give me whoever. Give me one.
You not. First of all, you're not going offensive tackle at all.
First pick.
I would take Bryce Young with that second pick if I had the opportunity. Somebody's gonna be quarterback hungry.
But that's why you trade for multiple picks.
You're saying you're going to be trading back, so
you trade out for multiple picks. But that's even.
Yeah.
See, that's what I want to do, because if you're coveting this number 2 pick so damn much, and you just pick one person who's probably going to be there anyway at 5, I'm calling the Lions. I don't care if they're in my division. Give me the 5th, give me the 12th. Come get your quarterback, and I'm gonna get my edge rusher or tackle, and I'm gonna give me a lineman. The best available.
If you're getting 2 first-round picks, I'd get.
I'm not My first pick will not be offensive line.
No, he's saying if we trade with the Lions,
I said if you trade with the Lions,
12,
you get the
5 would be your defensive pass rusher.
So my 12th pick would be the best offensive line.
I guess they would have to see who's on the board.
I'll put it to you right now. Our defensive line makes our offensive line. Our defensive line is so much a motherfucking priority this offseason. Yeah. It makes no fucking sense. It's more of a matter of fact, I wouldn't mind taking 2 fucking defensive players.
I was just going to say that there's a possibility if you get 12.
Why, if you can go get Deron Payne?
Because that would just make
that makes too much sense.
That would just sit up there and make that line even more formidable. If I can get Deron Payne and then put 2 young studs on the outside with him.
But don't forget, you still got Justin Jones, who's technically a 1 technique. You can move him back over.
But that's what I'm sitting up there saying.
So now you got your 3 technique in Payne. Jones has proven he can play, and you get the best edge rusher available at 5.
Shit, you might need 2 edge rushers.
We're talking about draft too. We're on bye week, aren't we? Are we doing a draft party on Tuesday?
I mean, I'm fine with it.
You want to do draft?
I'm definitely fine with it.
I don't want to.
You know, I mean, if you don't want to, that's fine. But I'm just saying.
He don't want to do shit. We got to use that brain. Goddamn. He's like, fuck that shit. That's too much thinking. You got to scramble through, think about, go through there, look at all the college players who will fucking be available.
Here's the thing where everybody got to look at, and I like what Devin said about the GMs, like how hard is it for you to coach somebody else's players? And it never dawned on me in this situation because everybody's rookies. But in previous things, he mentioned Bill Belichick. That brought me to Bill Parcells' statement when Bill Parcells said, well, if I'm going to cook the meal, at least let me buy the groceries. So there might be some type of commonality to say, if I'm coaching a certain way, give me what I need. Give me what I want to make my vision come true. So now Ryan Poles, in my opinion, has purposely put the spotlight on him in 2 areas, which is the draft and free agency now. And I'm not saying that you got to spend all your money this year, but you got to hit. You got to hit.
He's got to hit. There's no question about that. And he's got the money to hit. But
and I know we don't like the word overpay, but if you got to
overpay the right people.
The right people. There you go, Frank.
I'll put it to you like this.
You're not going to overpay a wide receiver who played 3 games the last 2 years. Like, fuck
no, absolutely not.
But the thing about the Bears is this. If it wasn't for the simple fact, and it's kind of giving a city and a fan base hope, that when you look at these games that they've been in majority of these fucking games. And if we weren't sitting up there actually thinking about them fucking tanking or some of the dumbass play calls, they will probably be a fucking playoff team. So
it could be.
You look at it, they not, as far as rebuild, they not as far away as most pundits think that they are. Because tell you the truth, I actually, in all actuality, I sort of like their receiving group.
It's not bad. Healthy.
It's not bad. I mean, the thing is this. They haven't been given an opportunity to shine. Like, I'm looking at it right now. Justin Fields, his highest amount of attempts that he's ever had. The highest amount of attempts that he's had so far this season is 28. And he had that against Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You got quarterbacks that damn near averaging fucking 30 a fucking game.
30 plus.
Yeah, 30 plus a game. So let him rip. Let him see what he got. I told you, there's certain coaches, get the fuck out your own way. Let N'Keal Harry line up on one side. Yeah. Let Claypool line up on the other fucking side. 6'4", 225 plus pounders right there. Let Komet stay right there where he is, big stiffy. Put in whoever the fuck you want to put in slot, whether it be Brian Pringle, Pettis, whoever.
Shit, we didn't even see Pringle this game.
Did Pringle play?
Nope.
Well, I want him to.
I don't give a fuck if he do, if he don't. But at the end of the
day, I like
I
Harry in the game.
Justin sit up there and let loose. I want to see him target his big wide receivers because that's what the fuck you got them there for. People sitting up there talking about, oh, we ain't got that number one. We ain't got. Tell me this: if we brung in a number one receiver right now, with the way they calling plays and shit,
it's not gonna
will
be
it really fucking? Will we know that he's really a fucking number one wide receiver if he's not getting the ball like that?
Yeah, that's how we know Claypool. We don't know if he's a number one wide receiver.
Exactly, because he's not getting the opportunity. And when the one time when they look like they was about to get into a little groove. Woo, I'm so glad that fucking knee held up because that shit looked nasty.
Yeah, it scared the shit out of me.
It looked nasty.
It looked terrible.
And he was on the ground looking like he was.
So like JB said, we got to hit in free agency, but most importantly, we got to hit in this draft.
Yeah,
and hope that we get the right players. So therefore, we can elevate. We can be a nice team next year.
To be honest with you, I do not want Denzel Mims. I keep hearing that that's a speculation going around. I do not want Denzel Mims. He's a receiver out of Oklahoma. We don't need him.
I'm not trading for another motherfucker.
If I want to pick any individual player in this draft, I still want Carter. But I mean, if you're getting number 2, you're not picking Carter. You're trading back.
I want Will Anderson.
If you're getting 3,
I would take Carter, but if you can get a chance to get Deron Payne, then give me Will Anderson.
All right, well, let's get into this draft shit another day, a different day.
I got to your ass look sleepy than a motherfucker. You over there, eyes glossing and shit.
I gotta go check on my family. So let's get into some shout outs real quick.
So I guess your shout outs gonna be quick then.
Yeah.
You want to go first then, T?
No, I'm gonna go last.
All right, I'll go first. Hey, shout out to everyone in the chat. Aromashodu always loved saying his name too, man. I always wanted to get his jersey too, with those long little freaking hook around names on the back of the jersey because it was too long. A great guest. Great. I mean, he gave me some things that I didn't even think about when it came down to like coaching and stuff like that. That was extremely helpful. All the people in the chat, hey, lit up again today. Anthony, always on here. The mom of the podcast, Miss JB. Mrs. JB. Is that what we're going to call her?
No, not Mrs. She's my mom.
Sarcasm, dude. But always she's always on here from start to finish. Hey, chat was great. You guys always enjoy being on here on Tuesday. Easy. Fucking easy.
Easy.
Other than that, hey, that's all I got. Get it next.
Okay. Yes, I'll
go. And that Packer chick, really quick too. That fucking Packer. That fucking girl. You had to bring her on again, didn't you, T?
I was hoping he forgot, but
I was too. And then I saw her down there because I'm able to see the bottom there. I'm like, oh fuck, you did it again. All right, go ahead, Fal.
Okay. I want to give a shout out to everybody in the chat. The chat was lit tonight. Give a shout out to our guest, Devin. Aromashodu. See that? Aromashodu. Give a shout out to him. I want to give a shout out to everybody out there. Remember to like and subscribe to the Chicago Clubhouse podcast. Shout out to all our sponsors. Under Armour. In the Zone. God damn it, T is covered up. I can't remember everybody.
Moore's
beer. Yeah. T gonna cover this shit up. I usually cheat.
And Hugh.
And Hugh, yes. Glove Hugh. Like some special bottles, come out, chill, whatever. Also want to give a shout out to you brothers, T Nick, Frank the Tech, JB. Our boy Easy does it. Give a shout out to him as well. Great time. Shout out to all our families and loved ones. Praying that everyone is safe. Everyone continues to be and strive to be in good health. Shout out to the kiddies, one which is to my right now.
She ain't in bed, huh?
Nah, she ain't in bed, not yet. I'm letting her live a little bit. And that is it.
All right, it's me. Shout out to you brothers as always. You know, you make Tuesdays like I will never miss a Tuesday. Like I put shit on the back burner. Like, nope, Tuesday's locked. I can't do nothing Tuesday. So always love being here with you brothers, man. It's always a pleasure. Again, shout out to Devin. Hey man, let me tell you something. when you have a guy that's not only been there, but has mind and perspective, that's great conversation because you get little subtle nuances and insights on stuff that the average person would never know in a football game, in a locker room, right? On the field. Just for him to simply let us know that route running and complicated play calling when he says, like, literally,
that breakdown of EQ, that interception was great.
Simple.
Yeah, that breakdown he gave of EQ, that interception was great.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
You only get that here. I know other networks and other television, other shows.
They can't get that shit. They'll draw it up pretending like they know shit.
Don't
we actually got somebody who knows shit.
There you go. They don't get the insight we get. Which leads me to shouting out the chat. Shouting out all my guests. I saw some familiar faces, some familiar friends coming out there. Y'all respect that. Ant and everybody. We had some new people in there in the chat that I love. One of the very, very first people came in and said, I just like to subscribe. Thank you very much. We're doing this for you all. We're doing this for the people, for the culture. And we're doing this because we love the Bears, period, point blank. We may not always agree. We fight like, little brothers. But, hey, one common goal, we want the Bears to be good. We want the Bears to succeed. Shout out to my mom. And that's all I got, man. Like literally with this bye week being off, I just hope somebody has some conversations like, man, just give us one more. Like, let Justin just get a 300-yard game. Like, let him throw 30, 35 times. Like, just once. Just once. I'm talking to you because you ain't shit. But never mind. I digress.
Had to go there.
Sorry.
So
you're that guy.
I'm shouting out everybody in the chat. I'm shouting out my brothers, Tank, Foulmouth, JB, and definitely Devin for coming on and kicking it with us for 2 hours?
2 hours, yeah, 2 hours.
And shout out to the Green Bay fan that came in here. And I want to keep it short. Hugh, shout out to Hugh on Cermak. Nice club, full bar. Shout out to In the Zone, which is going to sponsor us with clothes. Shout out to Under Armour and Moore's Beer. Also, I want to shout out my family real quick. I'm here with them now. Everybody's good. Everybody's all right. So, that I'm gonna go up there and check in with everybody. But everybody's doing pretty good, man. And I appreciate anybody, especially Mom, that sent some prayers this way. And thank you, appreciate it. So with that being said, I don't think there's any more that we want to say, so I'm gonna leave you with this.
You got to decide whether you're a wolf or a sheep.
Packers fans will be sheeps next year.
This has been a Chicago Clubhouse Network production.
You're still here. It's over. Go home.
We out.
Just incredible.
JF1, baby.